It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, let's do it. Back with you, Rothman and Ice. On a Hockey and Hounds Wednesday, a lot more. We'll jam Shefty into this mix, our boy BC, and a lot more. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and Baby Chet, the loose cannon. Good to see you, fellas.
It's great to see you, as always, looking sharp over there in the Hockey and Hounds gear. And you know what I'm about to do. Let the folks know where they can grab some Hockey and Hounds gear. Because if you don't have some of this and you're a Jackets fan, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to wake up and get some of this fire gear ARs cooked up over at Hockey and Hounds and Where I'm From.
Doing our best. Yes,
yeah,
whereimfrom.com. I can't tell you how many sizes I have left, but please check it out because every last penny goes to animal rescue and shelters here in Central Ohio. I'm glad you brought it up because I was over at the arena this morning.
You stay the night after the game?
In the Crow's Nest.
A little sleepover?
You know what? I could have because, it's funny because when you're leaving there in the morning, sometimes I wake up and AR's already here. And Kirill was walking in and, if you didn't know him, you'd think like, all right, I guess the stadium workers have arrived. Somebody's got to clean the ice. It's just amazing because it's not, we're such a big city, yet with a kind of a great small town feel still. It really just checks so many boxes. And, just see him kind of stroll over and stroll in and that kind of thing. And listen, I'm sure it happens in the big cities too, but it's kind of interesting when you just see a professional hockey player just kind of rolling in. And
it's funny you mentioned that because my mind just went to, like, hockey players can probably blend in most with just normal people outside of all the other professional sports. Basketball players are really tall. Football players are usually pretty, yoked up, and they're pretty tall as well. Like, the stars are always going to stick out, right? The headline names of the sport.
Yeah. I mean, March is 6'3", so he's not.
But I just think hockey players can blend in more, no matter where they go in the world, more so than some of the other superstars of the other sport. And I wonder if they like it that way. Because I think I would like it that way. Because some of these guys, like, you're Aaron Judge and you're going to a different city. You're not going out for dinner that night, probably. You're probably just in your hotel room because of the mob that will be everywhere you go, no matter what city you're in. And I think hockey players can get away with a little bit more of being out in the public eye, but also being hidden, if you will, in the public eye as well.
It's also, in a weird way, of the big four, it seems more niche than the others.
No doubt.
I mean, there are a lot more. There are a lot more guys on a base. It feels like there's just more baseball dudes. But as far as recognition goes, you're probably right. It from a lack of recognition. I don't know. Maybe you could put baseball in there. But yeah, it's weird because the football guys are wearing the helmets, but it's the most popular sport, so you get to see them interviewed all the time. Mm-hmm. But you're right. If I don't know, if Toronto's in town, like if Austin Matthews is walking down Nationwide,
is he getting mobbed? I don't think he's getting mobbed.
I don't think it's mobbed. I don't know if Edmonton's there, if Connor McDavid's walking down Nationwide or whatever, grabbing a coffee. Hockey fan knows him.
Correct.
But you're talking about the guy or girl that's working downtown in Columbus.
Yeah.
Has to be at work at 9 a.m. and walks next door or walking down the street or parks and walking to their office. And one of those guys walks by them. Do they know them? I don't
think so.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. But anyway, it's cool. We'll have Jack on today at 1 o'clock for Hockey and Hounds. Presented the big check today, the big Happy Gilmore check from my folks at Tel Ohio Credit Union that have sponsored Hockey and Hounds. We're going on almost now. I mean, next year it'll be 10 years.
It's amazing.
It'll be 10 years as we've helped rescues and shelters here in Central Ohio with the help of this platform and the help of Torts and Lars and JD and Z and Sivo and just the backing of CBJ to be able to connect with those guys on a weekly basis and try to use this platform and wrap hockey around passion project for me, and it's been the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in broadcasting. So appreciate all the support. And yeah, if you want to pick up a little Hockey and Hounds gear, and we'll try to freshen things up for next season for sure. Just hit whereimfrom.com and go to Hockey and Hounds Collection. We had the one in Philly as well. But find something you like and just know that you get a really cool piece of gear and that every dime is going back to the animals in need.
Yeah, congrats to you, man, real quick, because I want to give you your flowers on this, because I remember when years ago you ran this by me, the idea, and you were planning on cooking something up like this. We all know how much, animals and dogs mean to you. So to see this develop the way it has, I'm really happy for you, everybody involved, where I'm from, your team. It's just been cool to see this take off for you the way that it has, man. So congrats on the success and hopefully more to come.
Thanks, man. Till I drop, hopefully, and we'll keep doing it. But it takes a lot of people to get it done, and more importantly, it just takes people that have the love and passion for something and want to help. So that's cool. Yeah. Thank you. Speaking of hockey, so this could only happen to me in fantasy, and I'll tell you a quick story. So yesterday, I get home in the afternoon, and this is Fantasy Hockey Championship week.
Okay.
But also I think it goes actually through Thursday of next week. So I miscalculated. I thought it was going to end Sunday, but they're trailing it through to next Thursday. And so I'm kind of you can only make 4 pickups during a week.
I got you.
You can only make 4 transactions. 4 ads is a better way to look at it. And so I always went heavy on skaters and scores this year and hits and all that in my league versus goalies. I did not weight goalies very high. Unless you're going to reach for Vasilevsky or Shesterkin or one of those, Sorokin, one of those guys, you feel like everybody wants a goalie on a good team because then you have a better chance to get a win. So yesterday, this is no lie, and I'll kind of protect the name a little bit. Just it's not even relevant to the story, but I go home and I'm laying down and I got my phone and it's about 4:30, 5 o'clock. And I'm talking on the phone literally to a former NHL head coach.
There's a flex.
No, that's really not part of it, but part. No, it's really
it's
not.
A flex. Let's be real.
It's not. It's just
maybe Chet, flex or not.
We could probably narrow it down too. For sure. We need like a name drop siren or something.
Here's the thing, baby Chet. We're talking about Anthony Rothman here. It could be any coach in the league.
No. So listen. So I'm going through the schedule and I'm telling him I'm in the fantasy hockey playoffs. And we're talking about what a sucker bet fantasy hockey, just hockey in general. You never know who's going to win. So I'm going through the schedule, and I'm going, you know what? I could pick up Jari against the Hawks, but do I really trust the Penguins? Okay. I'm going through, do I want to take Vejmelka of Utah, but do I really trust Utah right now against the Kraken? And I'm looking through, and I'm like, you know what? Dallas at home against the Canucks.
Okay.
Casey DeSmith backing up Oettinger, and I feel he's coming off a bad game, but he was playing really well. And I'm like, this sets up for one of the great GM pickups in finals of fantasy hockey. And I'm not joking. Casey DeSmith is the backup, but like I said, he's been great up until his last game. Dallas is coming off a loss. They're at home. This is a 50-win team at home. I'm like, I'm going to pick him up. I'm going to grab him. And I'm telling him, and he agreed. Like no guarantees, but I like where your thinking is.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this game last night. This is the fantasy hockey playoffs, our championship week. And Casey DeSmith, the goalie that I picked up for Dallas, is up 3-0 going into the third. 3-0. I'm thinking I'm going to get a shutout. I'm going to win it all today. I'm going to get the shutout category. I'm going to get the win. I'm going to get off to a great start.
Print the shirts.
Print
what
the
you're thinking.
shirts. Yes. All of a sudden, it gets a little tight. Gets to 3-2. I'm like, okay, there goes the shutout. Let's at least preserve the win. Dallas scores to make it 4-2. And then Dallas goes up 5-2 on an empty netter with under a minute to go. Now, of all the unicorns that I could ever select in my life, this could only happen to me. In over 100 years of NHL hockey, over 100 years, something happened last night that has never happened before. Think about that. And at 5-2 with under a minute, okay, I don't get the shutout. At least I'm going to get the win.
You're getting a dub.
And I'm texting this former coach saying, at 3-0, give me the Jim Gregory Award. I'm the GM of the year. If that wasn't the kiss of death, I don't know what was. And this is what happened.
Shades to the near side. Feeds back. Elias Pettersson stopped by DeSmith. Stealing the puck back is Marcus Pettersson. Feeds the side. They score. Aturatu. Hughes. Hronek. Down for Garland. Doesn't shoot it. Puts it in front. They score. Pius Suter. Don't go away just yet. Comes free. Besser. Back to Garland. Connor Garland to Quinn Hughes. 10 seconds left. His shot. Oh, Hronek dismissed to the center. They score. Pius Suter's got another one.
And Pius Suter, I don't even know if he knew it went in.
Hronek near side had to take it off his skate. Stripped of the puck by Harley. Dumba check behind the net. Garland centers. They score. Kiefer Sherwood with 1:16 to go in overtime. The Canucks complete the comeback.
I'm sorry.
They gave up.
That's all I could say.
3 goals in less than a minute and lost in overtime.
That's wild.
They scored.
Insane.
The Canucks scored 5 in the third.
Mm-hmm.
First time in 100 years that a team's given up 3 goals in the final minute and also lost the game.
Yeah, that's
That is the unicorn
stuff.
of all unicorns.
And only you.
And only me. Whether I survive this or not is yet to be seen. But of all, and I talked this through, of all the goalies I could have picked up he was the right one.
Yeah.
Can you, Matty? I don't think Vegas. I don't think odds would have been on the board at 5. They would have taken it off the board.
Yeah,
there would have been nothing to bet on,
right? Yeah.
Because I don't even know if you could have If you could, I don't know if Vegas at 5-2 with under a minute could even come up with something because they were, well, this has never happened.
It's done. Yeah.
So why would we even put odds up? And then who would have been stupid enough to take the Canucks down 5-2 with under a minute?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Send the shirts to Africa.
And I had, well, they were printed early third, so I got a lot of them. How about that? All right, we'll get into it. We got Schefter, bottom of the hour, Maddie. We'll go over the update. Maybe you should ask him about Aaron Rodgers. Maybe I'll let you ask him.
I'm not bothering him on Aaron Rodgers because, one, I'm with Shefty. I'm over Aaron Rodgers with him, and so I'm not asking him.
Okay.
And Aaron, what did he tell him? Lose my number anyway.
Yeah. All right, maybe one of us will have to do it then. All right, Ryan Day in studio yesterday with Mike and Jonathan, and the mental place after Michigan. They asked him about it. You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's Ping Pong Game. The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony. Of course, I sit and do the show 3 hours a day. But after that, I'm looking to get things done, enjoy the spring weather. So I want to be on my feet a lot, playing golf, working out, just moving around. I was introduced to the Good Feet store because my feet were aching way too often. And what I found there is a 3-step custom arch support system that has me feeling awesome. My personally fit arch supports have helped realign my feet, reposition my body into a more ideal position, and not only that, strengthen my feet to help support me. It's made all the difference in how I feel every day. The Good Feet store is going to help you where you need relief and find the arch supports that work best for you. And when you wear them as a system, their arch supports are more effective at long-term pain reduction and elimination. So go in, take the free test walk. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Their products are proudly made in the USA. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or at goodfeet.com.
With prices the way they are, this is the year to start growing your own fruits, herbs, and vegetables. Oakland Nursery has #1 size blueberry plants starting at just $9.99. Cool season vegetable plants start at just $2.99 a pack. Asparagus roots, rhubarb crowns, gooseberries, strawberries, and more. And all your favorite herbs, too. Premium quality fruit trees start at just $29.99. Grow your own fruits, vegetables, and herbs this year. For 85 years, gardeners start at Oakland Nursery.
Atlas Butler is built to keep you comfortable, and our plumbing services are no exception. You can rely on Atlas Butler for trusted, convenient plumbing and drain service. Our expert plumbers and drain specialists can take care of anything, from a broken water heater to a clogged drain. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Common
Man and T-Bone here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino Columbus. Bone, did you know that the college basketball championship game is coming?
That's right. And you want to go to HollywoodColumbus.com to reserve a table and guarantee your spot for that, for the draft watch party, all
draft?
kinds of good stuff. You know what draft?
What draft?
All the drafts.
We can't say it, but it's a big draft.
Plus, with their Tea Time giveaway, you could win a golf cart or $10,000 in Penn slot play Sunday, April 27th.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Here's 3 reasons to buy your Blue Jackets ticket plans for the 25-26 season. 1, pick your seat and pick your games. 2, plans start at just 11 games. 3, priority access to Stanley Cup playoff tickets. Act now. Visit BlueJackets.com/tickets.
Anthony Rothman here for Tel Ohio. Tel Ohio Credit Union has been financing dreams and fueling the local economy for 90 years. And as the #1 SBA lender among Ohio credit unions, learn why more than 3,000 business owners trust Tel Ohio. Visit telohio.org/business.
Fish has been named the 3rd best sports program director in the country. Winner. The 2 dudes who finished ahead of him are dead. So we're declaring him the winner. You're listening to the home of champions, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens at your latest forecast. Somewhat sunny before clouds increase this afternoon as rain chances return by the late afternoon and early evening. Temperatures will be in the 50s later today, low 40s tonight, and 60s tomorrow as rain and storm chances continue into your Thursday. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The best teams don't always win titles. Sounds like AR and Maddie bragging about their fantasy teams.
Hey, that's cheating.
This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, I admit it. It was Mike Babcock. I'm kidding. And I didn't give up my phone either after I made that horrendous pickup.
It wasn't a bad pickup.
No, it was a great pickup.
The collapse is unprecedented.
100 years, 1917. They've been playing hockey.
Like how?
Like, come on.
Wait, so were you guys already talking, or did you initiate the conversation because you were trying to get some intel on who to pick up?
Yes. I was already talking about whatever.
I didn't know if this was like Michael Bublé and Rimmer.
No.
Michael Bublé's like, hey, help me pick up my fantasy team.
No, already talking, and then just happened to, it was organically in the conversation, like, by the way, I got a decision to make right now. What do you think? Mm-hmm. Like, that was it. It wasn't.
So did Torts apologize to you afterwards?
Nobody picked it but me. Nobody picked. You
had consulting.
I made the selection. There was that's not a bad idea, but it wasn't I'm co-signing this and away we go. It wasn't that. It was my decision.
All right, well,
anyway.
Dougie Mack did a bad job consulting for you.
Here's another one. In all honesty, that's a sign from the gambling gods that you need to give it up. No, I'm in it. I'm in it for the long haul.
Yeah, you're going right back at it again tonight.
I'm in it.
Yeah, exactly.
You cannot, because it doesn't get any worse than that. It can only get better.
It literally can't get worse.
It can't get any worse than that.
No.
That's something that would never, ever, ever happen because it never, ever, ever has happened. So why would it?
Those are the things that would make me want to quit betting and fantasy. But
fantasy for sure. Like honestly, I was ready to and that's it. I got a little Prince Oberyn dancing around 3-0. Look at my great pickup, everybody.
And the mountain squashed
and that was it, like a pumpkin. Yeah. All right, so we'll get back to football here, and you kind of go back to the preseason of last year. Ohio State was ranked second in the country behind Georgia. They had 15 first-place votes. Oregon was third. Texas was fourth. Notre Dame was seventh. Tennessee was 15th. So in the preseason, they knocked off, if you just go by preseason rankings, Ohio State in the playoff beat number 15, 3. I'm sorry, I did it in the wrong order. 15, 3, 4, and 7. So there were no massive sleepers that came out of the preseason AP Top 25, and you know what happened. Ohio State certainly looked the part, especially in the ramp up. The first road at Michigan State thumped them. Went to Iowa, they couldn't compete with them, and everything was building up for that game at Oregon. They lose in a half a second, so they deal with a little adversity. But with an expanded playoff, you're like, okay. I don't think we came out of the Oregon game thinking, the first Oregon go, everything was slanted positively. Because everything was like, wow, you went on the road, lost by a point, great game.
Didn't play clean either, and you still were close to winning that game.
Yeah.
Penalties and all that stuff.
So I think everybody felt pretty good.
Yeah.
Where you started to question things was, why did they lay an egg after a bye week against Nebraska at home? Still won the game, but it was like, okay, you got a bye week to flush that out. Where were your heads? Okay, it's college football.
Yep.
They're human beings. And then the O-line injuries start to flow. Now you're going into Penn State with a makeshift O-line against Abdul Carter on the road, Happy Valley. Crazy things happening. The great pick by IGB right before half to change the game, in my opinion.
Remember all that Will's fumble in that game?
Will's fumble at the goal line.
It's
right,
wild.
Right. So you had so many things happen there. But they were winning games. Yeah. Thump Purdue, go to Wrigley, thump Northwestern. Here comes upstart Indiana. Maybe a look-ahead game to Michigan, but the greatness of it was that Indiana was top 5. So now you got your attention. If Indiana came in as unranked, maybe they, in a weird way, if Indiana wasn't undefeated, you would maybe taken them lightly. The beauty of that was you didn't take them lightly. And so they get them. And then here comes Michigan at home. It's all set up. Here we go. And you want to talk about an egg laying that was again, as far as predictability, it was in the same category. I put the what was the year? Was it 22? Yeah, the 22 year. Thanksgiving, 60 degrees, and letting up 45 to JJ and company. Stroud, that team. I would have put near my life on that one.
There were some signs that year that the defense was leaky, right, with the big plays. That was a theme that season, but you're right in feeling that way. I think a lot of people felt that way, but last year for sure. Last year, when you look at Michigan and where they were offensively and what they didn't have as far as any type of juice, especially at the most important position, it was hard to see them come into the shoe and come out of this thing with a dub. But what happened was, a lot of players tell us that play in not only this rivalry, but a lot of rivalries, is that sometimes you throw the records out and things just get weird. And things got weird in that game with some of the play calling. Will throws an unfortunate interception that leads Michigan right to the doorstep of a touchdown, and just so many other things factored into that game that obviously led them down the wrong path. But that is just always an interesting situation, because last year's team, with the juice that they had on Ohio State side of things, and you look at Michigan and what they didn't have, it was really hard to see how they were going to carve out a win. And they did, because they made Ohio State get into a fight their type of way, instead of Ohio State going pedal to the metal and running away from them, which we saw down the home stretch of the college football playoff.
And then the worst thing that could happen is that you lose your second game and you lose it to Michigan at home, and you lose it in ugly fashion. And then there's the mini brawl after the game and everything that goes with that rivalry. And Ryan Day had to somehow get back into it with his team emotionally, settle down and ramp up and try to ride that wave of, let's put it very plainly, hatred based on that loss. And he sat with Common Man and T-Bone yesterday and talked about it.
No, not at all. But you know, I mean, you live 365 days out of the year for that game, and so for it to go the way it did, it's almost like, I mean, it's like just a disaster.
Looked like you couldn't believe it.
Yeah, you just can't believe. You can't believe what, and then here comes the flags, and now our guys aren't going to stand for that, and it's like you got to be kidding me. Like, is this really happening? You're almost in shock because it can't possibly matter more to anybody than it means to me and my family and the players and the coaches in that Woody. So, when something like that happens, it's you can't even imagine what it's like. So when you live it 365 days out of the year and the game went the way it went, you almost become paralyzed, and so. But then what are you going to do about it? And it's like anything else in life. You have to take a moment like that and learn from it, grow, and then move on. And that's just what it is. But to know what it means and to come up short like that, obviously, it's just devastating.
Here's the most important part of it in my mind, Matty. How blessed they were to have an opportunity to make it right. I've sat with Matt Finkus. I've talked with guys I covered in the 90s, guys that I'm good friends with today. They never got the opportunity to right those wrongs. They got it in the Rose Bowl, but not for a title.
Right.
And if there was an expanded playoff back in the 90s, I'm almost willing to guarantee Ohio State wins a title. Now, I don't know for sure. Nobody would know. But they didn't get the opportunity. BCS time, 2 teams, that's it. You lose a game, you're toast, that kind of stuff. This team took advantage of the opportunity. This coach took advantage of the opportunity. And that's all they say in sports. Are you playing another game? Does it matter? Well, then that's all you need. And that's all they needed.
And it takes a special team with a special mental makeup to do what they did. I really believe that. I don't know if there's a lot of programs that could have gone through that, of not only the sting of losing that game this year, but a few years prior to that as well. And the way that that's gone and how that shook the room over there. And you could hear it in Coach Day's voice, and you could see it in his emotions right after that game and the players' emotions. So to come back from that took, I think, a veteran team with leaders all up and down that roster and guys that could look at each other and hold everybody accountable, from the coaches to the players to everyone involved that makes things happen on Saturdays. That's what it sounded like over there. And that's what I really respected about last year's team. Not only was it the talent, but it was the way that they went about their business, and they really locked in and took advantage of that opportunity that you were talking about and paid off on that preseason hype, because the hype was through the roof. And there was a lot of pressure on them. They embraced it. But to take that gut punch, that 2-piece across the chin, and come out the way that they did was really, really something special to watch.
Yeah, we'll sprinkle in more of the in-studio stuff with Conman and T-Bone as we go throughout the show today. We'll take a break, come back in 2 minutes with our guy Adam Schefter. Matty will ask him about Aaron Rodgers, and then we'll tackle everything else. And I think the important part of it is, though, does the draft, 2 weeks from tomorrow, impact decision-making and timing on all of this? We'll ask him next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
This PGA Tour moment is brought to you by True Green.
After eagling 15 in a final round of the 1986 Masters, Jack Nicklaus realized he could win for the first time. He sat at 16 with a 5-iron in hand and 175 yards to the hole. With a ball in flight, his son caddying for him said, "Be right." Jack responded, "It is," and it landed 3 feet from the hole. Jack made birdie and went on to win his 6th and final Masters.
True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to really stand out. That's where True Green comes in. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know a thing or two about keeping grass looking like a fairway. It's more affordable than you think, and they'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Head to TrueGreen.com today. Let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Skyline nachos are back, and now there's a spicy version. Get them with Skyline's cheddar or habanero cheese, topped with fiery jalapeno slices. But hurry, Skyline's regular and new spicy nachos are only at participating restaurants for a limited time.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like asterisk-free checking, with no monthly maintenance fee, no matter what. It's your money, right? So keep more of it. Make the switch today at huntington.com/yourmoney.
At
At Meijer, we work hard to bring more locally grown goodness to life with a farm-fresh selection of crisp vegetables and juicy, ready-to-eat fruit. Whether topping off kebabs on the grill or adding healthy color to a leafy green salad, your family will definitely enjoy the delicious taste of Meijer produce. Plus, you'll appreciate the selection and savings we have to offer. That's the fresh-picked good life, priced for real life. We work hard to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
NFL Playbook with ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Sponsored by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
All right, back at it with our guy, the senior NFL insider for ESPN, the one and only Adam Schefter. Good to have you, Shefty.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
All good. Thank you very much. Just trying to, play the guessing game with the draft, but I'll ask it this way. Where are you on kind of the feeling that more than 2 quarterbacks will be drafted in the first round?
I lost the question. I'm driving. I didn't hear it. You faded out, and then you just bounced back, so I'm sorry about that.
No, that's okay. Where are you on the odds of, and just in your mind and your guess on whether there'll be more than 2 quarterbacks drafted in the first round?
Oh, I think that's a great question. My guess is there'll be a third. I'm still not convinced of it, but I think there'll be a third. But I don't want to be held to that.
No. A trade back in, or someone actually taking the third quarterback in their slot?
Well, I'll just say this, that we haven't seen a single team move out of its first-round slot yet. It's April 9th. This is, again, the last time we went this late without a team moving off its first-round pick was 1993, when 5 days before the draft, the Chiefs traded a first-round pick to the Niners for Joe Montana. So that was 5 days. That was the latest it's ever gotten. This looks like it's going to break that mark, and the reason I think it's breaking that mark is because teams haven't identified quarterbacks worthy of trading up to go get in advance. Now, when they're on the clock, if I'm making this up, Shedeur Sanders is available at a slot we didn't think. If Jackson Dart's available at a slot we didn't think. If some team's trying to get in front of another team, then sure, you could always see a team jump up. But we haven't seen any trade so far. And there's always the natural activity of teams jumping around, so I expect some. But I don't know that we're going to get as much as normal because of the quarterback class that this is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no doubt it does. Shefty, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So to answer the question, to hone in, Cam Ward is going. I expect that Shedeur Sanders will be a 1. And then the question is, does either Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck, does somebody like that also go in round 1? And I could see it going either way, to be honest with you. I really don't know yet.
Okay. Shefty, we were reacting to a clip from you the other day. I believe it was on McAfee, and you were talking a little bit about the Cleveland Browns. And look, we all get things are fluid. Things are going to change and have changed, I'm sure, over the last couple of weeks. But there was a mention of Travis Hunter possibly being a Cleveland Brown. Walk us through that thought process and maybe some of the stuff you're hearing.
Well, look, again, I think it was my podcast. But, when we talk about the draft, there's a difference between discussing and hypothesizing and reporting something. And there's not a lot of reporting. Reporting is a guy got a bad medical diagnosis and his draft stock is expected. Hard reporting is two teams are in discussion to make a trade. When we're evaluating these guys' positions or who a team might take, we're just making educated guesses. And when this started out, I was of the mind, based on conversations with people, that the Browns were going to go quarterback. And I think in a perfect world, in fact, I know in a perfect world, that it would have been quarterback. And Ward would have been the guy. And that's what they would have done. Unfolded, and as we've gotten further and further into it, it's become apparent that the Titans are focusing in on Cam Ward. And
All right.
Can you hear me?
Sorry, we're in and out a little bit. We got you now.
Okay. So the idea of when we talked about 2 months ago, the Browns considering that was right at the time. I really believe that. But then it becomes apparent that they're not going to be able to get Cam Ward, so that they're off that. And then there was the idea, again, we talked about Abdul Carter, all the work, and we knew that Jimmy Haslam and D. Haslam went to the Penn State Pro Day, and they met with Abdul Carter the night before. And I know that they've talked about the idea of teaming him up with Myles Garrett. So in my mind, I thought, well, this absolutely has a chance to happen. I thought that might be the pick. But over the last week, it sure seems like there's a lot of Travis Hunter conversation at 2. And again, I wasn't reporting that they were taking a quarterback. I wasn't reporting that they were taking Abdul Carter. And I'm not reporting they're taking Travis Hunter. But if I was going to fill out a mock draft today, and I don't ever do mock drafts, I would mock Travis Hunter too. And I still reserve the right to change my mind again. But today, it feels like Travis Hunter is tracking to go number 2. And again, that still could change again.
Do you feel the timing of the draft 2 weeks from tomorrow will affect how the Steelers treat their quarterback decision? Or is it just they could get both? They draft a quarterback at 21 and they still get Rodgers? Or they wait on, because they kind of got to know, right, what Aaron's going to do? Or do they not? Do they just use those things as their exclusive? They don't have to deal with... They can get Aaron Rodgers and draft a young quarterback. Do you see it happening like either or both?
I don't think they have to know Aaron Rodgers' decision. And I think, look, even if Aaron Rodgers goes to Pittsburgh, how long is he playing? Another year or 2.
Right.
So if you have a high enough grade on Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart or Tyler Shuck or whoever it is, by the way, I don't think the Steelers go quarterback unless Shedeur falls in round 1. That's my feeling. I think that they would be more apt to go QB if one of those guys was there in round 2, and we'll see whether that's possible. It seems unlikely, but we don't know yet. And I think that they have to make a pick regardless of what Aaron Rodgers is doing. Right now, as of Wednesday midday, they don't know. They have not heard from Aaron Rodgers about an answer. So clearly, Aaron Rodgers has some reservations about signing with Pittsburgh. If he didn't, the deal would have been done days or weeks ago, correct?
Yes, but do you think that's the reason for that is that he doesn't want to get in a situation where they do draft a first-round quarterback, that he'd rather wait?
No.
Okay.
Do you think he cares? Do you think that he thinks a rookie quarterback is going to outplay him or take his job? No.
No, and not with the money they've got to pay him to play. Right. I don't think it would be counterintuitive. I agree with you on that. I'm just bringing it up based on the fact that we have an example with Cousins. That's all.
Yeah, I understand. I think that Aaron Rodgers is trying to, this is my feeling, I think he's trying to get comfortable with the idea that he's good to go to Pittsburgh to play with the Steelers while waiting to see if any other opportunity, i.e. the Vikings, happens to come up that would be better than the one that he's pondering from Pittsburgh. And so what's the rush? The Steelers offseason program doesn't start until a week from Monday, so we're still 12 days away from the start of their off-season program. We're 15 days away from the draft. So he's got another 10 days here to sit back and think, and obviously he likes to think about these things and really process them and weigh everything about them before he makes any sort of decision. So it's not like the Steelers have a game next weekend or anything like that, right? He's going to take his time, and he's going to make a decision when he's ready. We'll see what he decides, but he has some reservations about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, my man. We will let you fly. We appreciate the insight. We'll get even more next week.
Well, as we get closer and closer, it just keeps building. And by the way, I had Will Howard on my podcast last week. That's an impressive young man.
Everybody seems to say that, Shefty. I mean, we obviously were keeping up with him all year long, but, he's done a lot of these podcasts, and the people that we've talked to are really, really impressed with who he is, not only as a quarterback, but who he is as a guy, Shefty. So, yeah, you're not alone in thinking that.
Yeah, I can't speak, as a quarterback, I know he's a good quarterback. I can't tell you how good he is or isn't going to be in the NFL level yet, but I can tell you as a person, that guy's an A+. And that guy is, that's the kind of guy you want on your roster. I can say.
All right, thanks, bud. Be well.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
You too. That's Adam Schefter, senior NFL insider for ESPN, and he was on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We will come back. Let's stay with the draft. Second round shopping. Can the Browns actually find their future outside of the top 32? Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Foodie alert.
Alton Brown's farewell tour, Last Bite, is coming to Columbus on April 22nd at Mershon Auditorium. Expect culinary chaos and scientific surprises. Tickets are on sale at Ticketmaster. Don't let this delicious opportunity slip away.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply.
Hey friends, Beamer here, 70 pounds down. Let that sink in. I'm officially 70 pounds down, all thanks to Awaken 180, and have transitioned smoothly into maintenance mode. This isn't just weight loss, this is life-changing stuff. I've dropped over 13% body fat, my visceral fat points are down by 8, and honestly, I feel like a completely new man. The coolest part, Awaken 180 just doesn't say congrats and then wave goodbye. They prepare you for maintenance, so now I get to reintroduce to myself foods that I love. Pizza, ice cream, very excited about all of that. My mindset's completely different though now. Do I crave junk food? Honestly, no. Can I eat those things now? Sure. Will I? Absolutely. But the difference is I no longer feel like I need them all the time. And Awaken 180's free support for life means that this weight's staying off. My body's now working for me instead of against me. I'm finally at my healthy baseline weight. I feel awesome. Change your mindset, change your life. Awaken 180 made it happen for me. And if it can happen for me, it can 100% happen for you. Check them out online at awaken180weightloss.com. awaken180weightloss.com.
Everyone has that one goal, that thing they want to prove, not to other people, but to themselves. Then, right when you think you could actually do it, cancer. And that goal is still within reach. Oh no, I'm about to run my first ever marathon with my two best friends. 3 years after having cancer.
At least we look good in these shorts.
Woo! Let's get it, guys. You, keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
I hope you're ready for all the Jackets talk you can handle. Join us Wednesday night at 7 for the Inside Edge.
Sponsored by Visit Central Florida. Discover the real Florida magic at visitcentralflorida.com.
The Fan.
Now, your big ideas don't have to wait. They have everything they need to come to life because Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas. A technology that loves expanding your business and evolving your passion. We push what technology can do so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution Specialists.
Anthony's hidden talent is weaving a movie quote into every conversation. It's mostly not annoying. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, we'll get back into it. Zach Wierenski coming up top of the hour. We'll do Hockey and Hounds today at 1 o'clock. A lot of talk on Cleveland maybe looking for a quarterback in the second round. Passing on Shedeur at 2, taking Travis Hunter. I mean, yes, they certainly could come back and try to get a guy. So you have to ask yourself, are they just not prioritizing quarterback this year because this isn't a draft to do that? It's possible. It's possible. We've talked about the soft tank on whether, and what I mean by that is that just be patient, asking you to be patient again as a Browns fan. You're pretty good at it. So they don't mind asking.
That's sad to say.
And so, you're going to stick with them through thick and thin, and they know it. It's not that they're trying to lose, but it just feels to me that that's kind of where they're going, and they might get somebody with value. Well, Jalen Milroe had a private workout with the Browns. People said it was impressive, and he's met with other teams. So if the Browns want to get him, hoping that he gets past the Steelers at 21, okay, there may be a little hope involved there. And he may be the perfect guy to say, if he drops, great. If he doesn't, that's okay. But when you're a quarterback and you're running a 4-4 in this NFL, in this era, it's very, very tough to pass up because you feel like you can coach him out of his lock in on a receiver and all that stuff. The 20 picks, we can work with that. We can work with decision making. But if we feel he has the tools, and he's 6'2" and runs a 4-4 and he plays quarterback and he played at a big program like Bama, that maybe they could find something there. Where could they get him, Matty? And would he be the guy if they did second round shopping?
Yeah,
is he the one?
Could be him. Could be Tyler Shuck because they met with him as well. So they're checking all the boxes. They're making their rounds and sniffing around all these different quarterbacks. I think. Now it definitely feels like a quarterback at 2, to me, is not happening. One of Abdul or Travis Hunter, I believe, will be a Brown at 2. So then that brings into focus 33.
Mm-hmm.
And would they want to pull the trigger there on a guy, Tyler Shuck, who Louis Riddick absolutely loves? He called him the one of the guys outside of Shedeur.
And real
Cam
fast,
Moore.
Louis Riddick, and none of these guys are shooting 100%. But I do know for a fact that he was very, very, very in on Jaden Daniels.
He is really high on Tyler Shuck. The history there, as far as injuries go, isn't great, but he thinks some of those are fluky. He doesn't think that's going to be a look into the future of what he will be. Big. Look, he's got the AFC North kind of quarterback frame, 6'4", 220 plus, big arms. So you play in some of those games in our neck of the woods. It gets windy, cold, all of that stuff. It seems like Tyler Shuck would be able to handle that. My thought process is, if you're not going to get Kirk Cousins, I think you just go all the way in with sucking this year and rolling out Kenny Pickett and rolling out a guy like that. Because if you do acquire
maybe
Kirk Cousins,
literally rolling out Deshaun.
Maybe.
Not figuratively.
Right.
Like literally we roll
Achilles.
him out there.
Right. And so if you bring in Kirk Cousins, it puts you in that weird area to where you're probably going to win 7 to 9 games with him. And again, you're not going to be picking high enough to get whoever's the gem or gems of next year's quarterback class. I think they should stay away from a quarterback at 33. If they want to wait again and maybe there's another guy after that they like, they need blue chip players, especially on offense. So I'm in on Travis Hunter being the pick at 2, but identifying an offensive lineman, maybe another weapon at 33, that's the route I think the Browns should go down, because right now on offense, they are just really lacking blue chip players that you can count on. And I think you build this thing out with your first couple picks with guys on that side of the ball that can help you out right away. And I think they can find that at 2 and 33.
Yeah, it would not bother me if they took a quarterback at 33, if they felt okay with it. I think you could address it there. It's still a pretty big priority at the most important position that they don't have depth at. And I do think if you grabbed him at 33, a Tyler Shuck, then there is some value there. You don't have to give him the first round, everything that goes with the first round. And they could take their quarterback there, do it at 33, and feel like they got a guy that may be able to compete as a starter. You wait too much longer, then you're hoping that somehow your value pick is the right one. We've heard enough about Tyler Shuck at Louisville to think like, okay, that's a guy.
See, I'm not in that camp. I'm not. Like Tyler Shuck to me,
pretty good arm.
He's fine. Like he's not a guy I want to waste my second pick on in the draft.
Okay.
It's just way too unsure of a thing for me personally when it comes to him. And Milroe is the project that you mentioned that he is, but that lottery ticket.
Who's backing up Pickett?
That lottery ticket is more attractive to me than Tyler Shuck if they were going to do that, just because of what you talked about, the 20 rushing touchdowns, the electricity with his legs, the arm. You just got work to do with Jalen Milroe. Maybe Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry would want to invest in that. He just got that big arm with the explosiveness with his legs, and I get it, right? You think you can craft that, then you're on to something, especially within in their division, what they see from Lamar twice a year. I can understand why a team would want to copy and paste that if they can. But you look at his 11 interceptions last year for Milroe, 10 of those came on throws of 15 yards or less. So the intermediate stuff he's really got to work on. He just doesn't have the touch. And like you said, getting through his progressions and all that is not his strength for him. Not to say that won't happen, but you're waiting on that to happen, and that may be a year or two.
Well, and that's the problem. You draft him to sit and develop behind who? Like Kenny Pickett? Like that's the issue that the Browns would have. So maybe you're right. Maybe they could wait, but if you're waiting, who are you waiting for? Like, you grabbing McCord? You grabbing Quinn Ewers? Like, where are you going? Like, it just feels like, and I'm not saying there's
So you would spend the pick on Shuck at 33? That's what you think they should do?
I feel like that'd be good.
Okay.
Yeah, I could be talked into if Milroe's there too.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I'm at least feeling like I'm a little tantalized by the speed and the quarterback, and I can coach him up, and then I have these physical gifts that maybe the other guys don't have. So if I can get him at 33, I'm just afraid. That's why I asked Shefty about what the odds are about a first-round QB if there's going to be more than two.
I just really wouldn't be afraid of passing. I really wouldn't be afraid of passing on any of these quarterbacks outside of Shador and Cam. Like, I wouldn't feel like a lot of these guys would come back to haunt me. And I know what we do around draft time, especially with this position, is we got to find the quarterback to talk about, and then where's the gym and all of that. Let's build the roster out with dudes, and especially that valuable pick at 33. Like, go best player available there. For me, that's just what I would do.
Well, that comes back to my original point. The patience.
Yeah.
And letting another year go away, because you're in the AFC North, and you're not going to beat probably Lamar and Joe and potentially Rodgers.
And maybe Rodgers,
with Kenny Pickett.
Just not going to happen.
You have to win it with defense, but you're not going to win enough games.
And maybe that's what you want.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you want. If you've got security.
Is that what Myles Garrett wants?
Well, probably not. But he's got $40 million a year.
He told us he knew.
He sounded optimistic
he told us
about
he
the
was
plan.
excited.
Right.
And it wasn't just the money.
We shall see. We shall see what's next, and maybe that is Kirk Cousins, and maybe he's all in on that. He's not going to be super excited about one of these rookie quarterbacks outside of Cam or Shador. I would be surprised if that's the move.
All right, we'll come back top of the hour. Hockey and Hounds with Zach Wierenski coming off a win, mathematically still alive. And they played with some edge last night. We'll talk to him next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Here's a quick 10-second reminder that the Buckeyes have won the Natty. Also, we are all the games, and we always will. Thank you. Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-324-VEIN. That's 614-324-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, three-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to lifesearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit lifesearch.com today.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Harbor Freight knows time is money, so for our Spring Black Friday sale, we're getting straight to the deals. This weekend, you get 35% off jack stands, 56-inch roll cabs under $800, and 2,300 PSI electric pressure washers under $190. See? Straight to the point, so you can get straight to the savings. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. Valid until April 13th, 2025 while supplies last. Limitations apply.
With Progressive Customer Service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last two, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Jake Diebler one step closer to filling out his roster for next season with the commitment of Wright State senior Brandon Noel. Noel, 6'8" from Lucasville, Ohio, averaged 19 points and 7.7 rebounds a game last season. The Cincinnati Reds looking for the sweep in San Francisco against the Giants at 3:45. Nick Martinez versus Justin Verlander, the pitching matchup. You can hear it on the Fans HD3 beginning at 3:15. The Cleveland Guardians and Chicago White Sox play Game 2 of their series at Progressive Field tonight. 6:10 first pitch as Logan Allen battles Sean Burke. Over at Bill Davis Stadium, the Buckeye baseball team taking on Kent State at 4 p.m. Matt Andrews has the call over on ESPN Columbus at 3:55. This one brought to you by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, and always online at rcdrv.com.
Rothman and Ice present Hockey and Hounds.
Sponsored by Telhio Credit Union.
Now joining the boys, the lead dog on the blue line, Zach Wierenski.
All right, efforting Z at this moment. I will tell you that they won a nice game last night. Where it matters in the big picture, maybe not. And I guess if you really want to zero it down to who you needed to win last night, you probably wanted the Red Wings to win over Montreal just to kind of keep that pack more clustered and reel in Montreal the best you could. So you guys know the math already if you're following the Jackets. It's not good. It's they're in trouble, and it would take a minor miracle to dig themselves out of this. The positive is that this team has proven a lot to themselves, and if they don't make it, which it doesn't look like they will, they'll take this into next season. I liked what I saw last night. That was a team playing with desperation. That was a team that was taking turnovers and making the other team pay. Neutral zone stuff, winning some puck battles. I liked the decision-making, the aggressiveness. Olivier's been just a star in every category. Because that first goal, when he has kind of a mini breakaway, and he takes it in deep instead of just trying to throw the biscuit on the goalie and just hope for a rebound and wheels around and just throws it in the slot for Voronkov, that's a pro play. If he throws it on net, it's not great, but he takes it below the goal line. Danforth, don't call that guy just a greasy goal guy. He that's a toe drag, high glove, 2-0. It was a beauty. I thought Elvis had the flippers going. He needed them. They gave him a power play goal. That happens. Sillinger, outstanding job on the forecheck last night. That led to an Olivier off-skate goal. So what that is that's an effort play that leads to kind of a fluky play. And that's how it happens. They scored on the power play. Monahan was, Matty, that's like a basketball player almost being too open. I wasn't even sure, but it was lock and load time. Yeah. It's 4-1, you got it. They didn't stop. They kept the pedal to the metal. Fance on the breakaway. I'll give you another example. He's not beating everyone down the ice if Provy doesn't swat that puck out of the air. That leads to that. I think KJ gave him a pass in motion. And then he finishes. 5-2. It's the way we like to see him play. The way I like to see him play, the fans like it. They were at home. Mm-hmm. Building was buzzing a little bit. And they got in that room and they felt like, you know what? It's not dead yet. And so that's all they can do. They know what they're up against. Talking about it and acting like they need to really comment a lot out of it is probably fruitless at this point. They know the position they're in. Although Jody made a comment last night on the broadcast I thought was interesting about he thought maybe they were leaning into the standings too much, and then maybe that put a layer of pressure on them, that maybe they got caught up in.
I wonder why he felt that way.
I don't know, because
we talked to him maybe.
Well, there are a lot of guys in this team that have never been through this before. This kind of a playoff push, and maybe there was a little bit of, oh, here they are, here we are. But you and I and Z and Z's been there. But you and I were talking about how, like, you can either embrace it or run from it. It's very difficult to just kind of put the blinders on. But whatever they're going through now, you have to think it puts another layer of skin on you.
No question. No question. And the cherry on top of this Sunday would be them getting into the postseason and getting even more experience. But what you just talked about coming down the stretch of the schedule is so valuable, because to me, they are playing playoff hockey with the pressure that's on them at the moment. But just another case last night of the gang over there handling business at home. And that's just been one thing that's been really good for them. Now 23-10-5 at Nationwide Arena. Protecting their own house has been awesome to see. I know Coach Dean after the game talked about the edge from the guys, the edge from the players, and you could just feel it from them coming to the TV last night, because they know what's on the line at this portion of the calendar, right? It's do or die time for them. But big picture stuff and what they've done this year, specifically on offense, has been really fun. but historical as well, because they've got 244 goals on the season. That's the fourth most in franchise history. I mean, that's amazing stuff from them, Coach Dean, the guys, of doing a great job of, for the most part this year. It's been spotty in certain portions of the schedule, which is going to happen to a lot of teams. But for the most part, they've applied so much pressure on offense, and you've seen guys come into their own form. You've seen guys like an Adam Fantilli, who was drafted very high in the draft, come into his own. And after last night, he's got 25 goals on the season. So there's a pillar that you can build around, and a guy that's going to be a dude for years to come. And Jess Svoboda, great follow on Twitter at Jackets Insider, he tweeted this out: 25 goals on the season for Adam Fantilli. He's the first guy from his draft class, including Connor Bedard and Leo Carlson, to have 25 goals in a season.
All right. We got Z on the line, and it's good to have you, my man. How you feeling?
I'm doing good. Sorry about that, guys. My phone was just sitting there. I wasn't paying attention to it, so that's on me.
No problem. I was going to put it on our new producer, but you took him off the hook, so that's awesome.
No, that's my fault.
No, that's good, man. Good to see you this morning. I feel like, yes, there's desperation in the air. You played with it. How much of that was on your guys' mind last night, that there is no tomorrow now? And I know you came off a tough weekend where you couldn't get the puck past a goaltender. How much pent-up energy and aggression did you take to that game last night, you feel?
Yeah, I just feel like we all know where we're at, right? I mean, there's no room for error on our end. Obviously, we need a lot of help from some other teams, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we don't win all our games from here on out. So we're just playing with desperation, playing some desperate hockey, and I feel like when we do that, we're a really good hockey team, and we showed that last night. So we're still alive. We're going to play tomorrow night, and if we win that game, we'll still be alive again for another day and just see what happens.
Z, right before we brought you on, I was laying out how many goals you guys have scored this year, and it's the fourth most in franchise history, which is just credit to you guys and the work that you've put in all year long and in the offseason. But just talk about the offense and the pressure that you guys have applied to other opponents this year, and just the overall vibe offensively that you felt from your teammates this season.
Yeah, we're a really talented group, and I feel like we play hard. We play the right way. I feel like when we're getting it on the forecheck, when we're reloading above pucks, when we're creating turnovers, we have the skill where we're going to put pucks in the net. So, all four lines can do that. I think, Matthew Olivier has 18 goals this year. Fantilli's 25, Ronkoff 21, I believe. Kent Johnson and Marchie. Like, we have guys that can score goals. So, it's kind of weird how that works, where lately it's kind of dried up for us in certain games and certain stretches, but I feel like for the majority of the year we've been a team that can put the puck in the net, and I think it's just a testament to how we play the game and the skill we have in our room.
Z, what do you think about going through this with guys that haven't gone through it before, and how much that's impacted things, and how much you think that's going to help in the future? Can you kind of sense, because this has been a playoff push since the Stadium Series, there was a lot of hype for that, but just give me your take on maybe how you think that's affected the skill and youth, not having been through this, a lot of guys, but then also how it would impact the future moving forward.
Yeah, well, I think it's great for our young guys to see how small the margins of error are this time of year. Even for a guy like myself and Booner, guys that haven't made the playoffs in a number of years, it's a good reminder. Obviously we've been there in the past, but we haven't been in a playoff race like this in 4 or 5 years. So I think for everyone, it's a good reminder how tight it gets, and how you have to find different ways to win hockey games. And whatever happens here these last 5 games, I think it's great for the future. It's great for guys to realize how hard it gets after the deadline. Those last 15 games or so, teams are fighting for positioning, for President's Trophy, for wild card spots. There's a lot to play for a lot of teams, and those margins of error get super slim. So we've definitely learned a lot this year so far, and I feel like this stretch here has been a great learning experience for our group, and it's only going to help us moving forward.
Z, you know what it's like to have to deal with the pressure of being a top 10 pick in this league, and you mentioned Fantilli. He racks up his 25th goal in the season. Just talk about what you've seen from him, the growth, and how he dealt with that freakish injury a year ago, but now has turned the page to being an impactful guy and dealing with the pressure of, again, being a guy like you who the franchise drafted high with high expectations. Just talk about Fantz and what you've seen from him this year and his growth, more importantly.
He's been awesome. I think he's grown so much this year, even from the first, 15, 20 games to these last, 55 games we've played, 60 games, whatever it is. It's like two new players, to be honest. I feel like he's learned so fast what it takes to be successful in this league. I think, a big credit to that is also Sean Monahan. I feel like he's been very fortunate to learn from Monty, the way he plays the game, the way he approaches it. He plays the right way, and I feel like being a young guy in this league, like Fance is a young centerman, there's no better guy to look up to than Monty. So, but in saying that, Fance also has to want to learn and do that stuff, and he did. And it's been tremendous growth. You obviously see the skill set, you see the 25 goals and the points coming, but to really watch his game, like he's responsible defensively, he's in the right spots, he's taking care of his assignments, and when that stuff happens, your skill starts to take over, and we're seeing that from him. So this organization, this city, these fans should be really excited about Fantilli moving forward.
You're having the historic year. We talked this morning about, you're the first U.S.-born defenseman with 20 goals and 75 points in the last 25 years. It may not be a part of a playoff run. So does it ring hollow, or is it something that you're incredibly proud of either way?
I haven't really thought about it too much. I mean, obviously, like, everything's better when you make the playoffs, right? That's the main goal, and I would trade it all to be in the playoffs and hopefully, do some damage there. But in saying that, you obviously put in a lot of work in the offseason and you get ready for, a long year, 82 games, and you never know what it's going to bring. So I definitely proud of some of the accomplishments that have happened this season. But like I said, I'd trade it all for a shot in the playoffs.
Did everybody stick it to Elvis on Friday at the team dinner? Supposedly he picked up the tab. Were you there? Was that true?
Yeah, there was a team dinner. I wasn't there. I actually had family in Toronto prior to him planning the team dinner. So a few guys had some other obligations that didn't make it, but I hope they stuck it to him pretty good. I told Corrali to order me a dinner plate and just, hand it out after to someone, but I don't know if he did or not.
That's awesome. We talk about Matthew Olivier real fast. What a game last night, but it was a very typical game for him, right? He scores, he dishes out an assist, he's got hits, he's got blocked shots, but I don't think he fought last night. I mean, he really had it going. I mean, he was headed for the old Gordie Howe Hattie, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's not many takers anymore with him, and I don't blame him, to be honest. I've seen it up close and personal, and I'm sure a lot of guys around the league have taken, notice of his fights. And, I wouldn't want to fight that guy. But I think everything else he brings, I think it just creates space for his teammates, when he's on the ice. A guy like that has your back, the way he plays the game, how physical he is. It definitely keeps other defenders and players on their toes. And, he's been awesome for us. He's done everything. So, but it would have been nice for him to get the Gordie Howe last night. But like I said, I'm not surprised it didn't happen.
Let me get your quick thoughts on Ovi. It's not going to happen against you guys. I guess that's probably good. Although if you won the game, I guess it wouldn't matter. But you saw that history. You're a student of the game. How impressive? And just give me your reaction to him getting to 895.
Yeah, I can't even really comprehend it, to be honest. I think I saw a stat today that there's only 28 goaltenders that he's shot on in the NHL that he hasn't scored against, which to me is even crazier, I think. He's been in the league 20 years, right? So he's faced, I don't know how many goalies he's gone up against, and he scored on every one of them except 28, which is insane. But I don't think people realize how hard it is to score goals in this league. And for him to score, 900 goals and counting, it's incredible. And, part of me wishes it was against us just to see it live and see the history and the buzz. But at the same time, I'm happy I'm not going to be on highlight tapes forever. So it's kind of one of those things where I would have liked to seen it, but I'm also a little bit happy about it. But it's insane for the game. It's insane for the sport. I don't know if anyone will ever touch that. But no, it's awesome.
No doubt about it. I think that's well said. Good news. Carl the cattle dog from a couple weeks ago mentioned him, and guess what? It took about 10 minutes. So Carl has been adopted. He was from Gigi's. The dog I'm going to pitch today is from my friends at Pro Dogs Ohio. It's Rocco. He's a 1-year-old Shepherd mix. I'll put him up on social media. He's gone through the training program. He's ready for his forever home. I love Rocco. I think he'd be best in kind of an active home, people that want to exercise him. I don't think he's going to be a couch potato. He's 1-year-old shepherd mix. So he's great with other dogs, cats, older kids. I think he'd be fine as a solo pup. He's crate trained, potty trained. He's ready to roll. Rocco, the 1-year-old shepherd mix. You can check him out at prodogsohio.org, one of the wonderful rescue groups in Central Ohio with fosters. So I hope that I have some good news for you in a couple of weeks. But Rocco is our guy today. Our shooting percentage has been outstanding lately.
Yeah, it seems like you always have good news for me. So hopefully we just keep it going.
Thanks, Z. Good luck on Thursday.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thanks. Zach Wierenski with us from Tell Higher Credit Union. For 90 years, Tell Higher Credit Union has been here for you. Join a community that values your financial needs and provides exceptional service every step of the way. My friends at Tell Higher Credit Union here on Hockey and Hounds. We come back and dive back into ins and outs quickly. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, I remember you saying that a family business should reflect family values, that a customer deserves to be treated with kindness and compassion.
And those values will never change. The reputation you built for being fair and honest is our greatest asset.
In fact, in 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and named the Lennox Partner of the Year.
You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind. It's an honor to continue serving Central Ohio as a locally owned, family-run business.
So, whether you need a tune-up, repair, or just honest advice, Care is here for you.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman here for Germain Honda of Dublin. So what's the difference? There are other Honda dealers around. Well, Rich Newsom and his team want to earn your trust. They don't expect it, and they earn it by giving you a great price, and then they back it up after the sale with same-day service, no appointment necessary, a great variety of brand new Hondas, and hundreds of pre-owned certified Hondas to choose from, all at the same location. Identify yours at GermainHondaofDublin.com. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, three-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to lifesearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit lifesearch.com today.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and spring is here, and it's time to refresh your yard with Ohio Mulch. With 15 convenient locations in Central Ohio, it's easier than ever to get mulch ready for the season. Now through April 5th, get 5 bags of red, black, or brown mulch for just $10.95. Need it delivered? No problem. Save $50 on home delivery when you order online. Visit OhioMulch.com today and spruce up your yard with the best.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, cleaner, greener, better.
Goes to Rothman and Ice has been named the best midday show in the country by our industry peers.
A winner if ever there was one.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Also, Common Man and T-Bone has been named best show at sucking. The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Does heel pain make you hobble just getting out of bed in the morning? If heel pain is affecting your ability to exercise and meet your walking or running goals, relief is as close as your local podiatrist. Podiatric physicians are highly trained doctors who specialize in medical and surgical treatment of the foot and ankle. Ohio Foot and Ankle podiatric physicians are available across the state and are devoted to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens at your latest forecast. Somewhat sunny before clouds increase this afternoon as rain chances return by the late afternoon and early evening. Temperatures will be in the 50s later today, low 40s tonight, and 60s tomorrow as rain and storm chances continue into your Thursday. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present In or Out.
Just a little of the old in and out.
Indeed. All right, baby Chet. Take us through your world.
All right. Number one, are you guys in or out on the Reds having one of the best starting rotations throughout the entirety of the season? Not just the first couple weeks. I will let you know they have the best starting ERA in Major League Baseball right now.
Picked up Lodolo last week with Maddie's co-signing of that.
He's been awesome.
Remember?
He has been absolutely
I had a couple guys go on the DL to start the year. Do you remember when I picked him up? So I've had him now for 2 starts.
So you had him after that first Giants start.
So I had him, yes, where he was fine. 6 innings, only 1 K. And then I picked him up. Did I pick him up at Milwaukee for the 6 2/3 with the no runs? And then he just had enough. So he's gone 2 games without giving up a run.
He's been cooking.
Yeah.
Absolutely cooking. At least 6 innings in every outing so far in that Milwaukee outing. He got into the 7th inning, pitched 6 2/3 there. Baby Chet, I'm all in on this because now we've got a decent body of work. Hunter Green was incredible last year. That's transferred over into this season. Lodolo, the only reason why you didn't hear much about him last year is because he was injured. Brady Singer, nice pickup via trade for them this offseason. And then you're going to get Andrew Abbott back starting this weekend, it sounds like. And so you're going to have 4 guys in your rotation that I think are absolutely going to provide a safe floor for you. And you have a no-doubt ace at the start of your rotation. So
best in the MLB, though.
He said one of.
I said one of.
I'm sorry. I thought you said, are you in on them being the best rotation?
I think they can be one of. I don't think they are right now in the minds of a lot of people, but you look at what they've done, especially the top 2 guys, Lodolo and Green. They've got the makings to do that this year. So, yeah, I'm in on that.
Before the year, I wouldn't have said this. But they have a lot of talent. They do. If they stay healthy, they're very talented. They could be a top 5 rotation in Major League Baseball.
Number 2, are you in or out on Angel Cabrera making the cut at the Masters despite having not played the course in 6 years? 2 of those years he spent in an Argentinian prison.
I saw him at the Masters dinner. Not that I was there, but I saw him in the picture.
Play that name dropping siren.
I saw him in the picture. If he was gonna do it, this would be the place to do it because of the history, the fact it's a smaller field with some older dudes and some AMs, and then a lot of meat in the middle. Do you know what the odds are of him making the cut?
Oh, not a clue. A better producer would have.
Yeah. He didn't make... I'm going to say no. I can't imagine that a 55-year-old who's been in jail, who's missed the last couple cuts at the Masters, would be in form enough to go around that place. Here's the other thing people don't know about the Masters. It's incredibly... The elevation changes of that place are real. Very real. And... certainly, it's not just hitting greens; it's hitting in the right spots of the greens. And I just think you have to be in full form. You got to be a full-fledged dude to go out there and make the cut, even in a small field. And I know he's a past champ. And I will tell you, if this was 10 years ago, I'd say, even at 45, I would say yes, absolutely. But I'm going to say no this year, and I don't even know the odds.
Let me ask you this. What did he go to prison for?
He went to prison for, I guess convicted for abuse of former girlfriends and things like that.
The article said he made threats to them.
Okay. That's obviously some nasty work there. Yeah, I'm going to go out on this. I'm going to go out.
Would it have mattered if he went to jail for something else? And you said, you know what? He's got an edge now. Was that where you were
laid on his taxes like Baby Chet? If he gets some time for that.
He's a soccer player,
motivated to earn.
Maybe,
that kind of thing.
maybe. But I'm sticking with my answer. He ain't making the cut.
Are you in or out on forecasting a lot of mid-draft trade movement near the top of the draft? Because we've made it pretty far with nothing going on in the first round.
I am kind of getting bored. I need some juice. Somebody needs to bust a move. Everybody just seems so comfortable with where they are. The Browns hold a lot of the cards here. They have the ability, I think, to move and shake if they need to. I don't think they will. But, I mean, when you say forecasting a lot of mid-draft trade movement, define that for me a little bit more, Baby Chet.
You saying over under 2.5?
I don't want to set an over-under, but near the top of the draft, like somewhere in the top 10, a couple moves being made.
I see us getting one move.
You think one's happening?
I think we're going to get one move.
Though.
So you're saying
not
like
mid. I'm talking
12 down?
Talking about where Maddie's talking about, like top 10. Yeah, I could see the Browns trading out.
See, here's the thing. I don't think we will within the top 10 because I don't know if the Saints are going to have to move. If we go Cam, Travis, Abdul, Titans, Browns, Giants, then Shador has the ability to fall right to them at 9. And I'm starting to feel like that's the way the board's going to shake out. And so after those first 3 teams, I don't think anybody else is taking a quarterback. I don't think the Raiders are taking a quarterback at 6.
So you don't think the Raiders could come up to try to get somebody that's a non-quarterback?
I think based off what they've done and how they've committed to Geno right now, I think the Las Vegas Raiders are going to take a best player available, somebody on offense to help them out, whoever they like. But I think with Pete Carroll being where he is in age, the money that they've committed to Geno, I don't think they're in the quarterback mix. They are. So I'm going to say I'm out on that, Baby Chet. I don't think we're going to have a lot of movement there.
All right, and we'll wrap it up here. I was reading an article that says that eating longer is better for you because you need at least 20 minutes for your stomach to tell your brain that you're full. So you may be more full than you think.
Yeah.
And one of the suggestions as to how to not distract yourself and how you can actually focus in on taking a long time to chew is to have no phone and no TV. Are you in and out? Are you in or out?
Oh, no.
I should say on eating in complete dead silence with no distractions.
Well, the fact that I just scarfed 3 pieces of pizza that was on that counter during that break kind of goes against the theory. The other part is I do associate television and relaxing with eating. That's a bad recipe. I understand that, but I'm not alone. I'm in on the theory that taking longer, I mean, you've been taught that since you were a kid.
It's impossible for me to do.
Not to vacuum that up.
It's impossible for me to do.
You got things to do.
I can hear my mom saying right now, it ain't going anywhere. Slow down. Mom, it's so good. I can't help myself. There's something about getting whatever you have ready in the kitchen, knowing that I got a good show, a good game on the TV, and just locking in on the couch. That is what you need to do. So that article needs to get out of here.
Manny, there was an invention years ago called the TV dinner.
Yeah.
You know, that they didn't just think of that out of nowhere.
That's what I'm saying.
And TV trays. Let me ask you this.
Because then it's going to get cold if I wait.
Did you grow up in a kitchen? You ate in the kitchen?
Yes, we did.
Did you have a TV in there?
It was to the left directly in the family room. So you could sit at the kitchen table and see the TV, though, from where you were sitting.
We didn't. We would bring in the TV. We'd bring in a little TV if it was a big game. And the one I remember the most, which is so ironic, is the 89 World Series, the Earthquake Series. I was watching.
You remember watching that there?
In a little TV in the kitchen with my parents.
There was nothing better for me than firing up a DiGiorno, getting a snack with that for the rest of the night, and just going down to the basement and just binging something or watching games. You don't get any better than that.
Maddie,
you wait 20 minutes, you got to reheat something.
I've told you that the time that I'm walking the done pizza down into the basement, knowing there's either a show or a game. I haven't even taken a bite.
What I'm saying.
And it's that moment between the walking with the pizza and the eating of the pizza that I wish I could capsule and live my whole life with that feeling.
Good thing for you, you do it every day.
That's right. Bobby Carpenter up next, and when he's not talking about the length of golfers, he's talking football. We'll do it next in 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane, manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
These two have a ton in common. Anthony loves hockey, and Matty's always cold. This is Rothman and Ice.
He's from the Morning Juice, where he talks about everything, including the length of golfers and football and all sorts of this day in history. But we welcome on our man, Bobby Carpenter. BC, how we feeling?
I'm doing good today, Rothman. Just happy to be on here. Listen to you guys talking about, vegging out, zoning out, Pavlov's dog, turn the TV on and just start eating
That's
food.
really what happens.
It's like you're not, I could probably put anything in front of you in a bowl, Rothman, and you just gobble it up. You need.
The mood strikes me.
It really is. We have been conditioned as Americans that when we sit down, entertain me and then just feed my gullet.
That's right.
With whatever it is. I'm not even hungry. You could sit there and gorge yourself with a meal, and then you start watching TV. Give me some popcorn.
Bob,
I'm stuffed, but give me popcorn.
Back not that long ago, where I was very sedentary. I wasn't doing much. I broke out of that during COVID. But I would watch that little infomercial with those old people with, pedaling while they're sitting, that little thing you can put on the floor. And I thought,
my grandma had one of those.
That's for me. And I didn't actually buy it.
Rother, my grandma got one of those when she was about $2 after she had a heart. Yeah, because she had a heart attack. My mom would make her. That was step one in her rehab process. And then she actually got to walking on a treadmill and losing 100 pounds, and then she was in a good spot. But she used to eat a lot of those cream cheese Danishes from Kroger, and I used to love going to her house because she'd give me some too, and they were delicious.
You saw Gruden's quarterback class. I'll tell you what, this guy, he's an impressive guy. Every guy that he had on there, rifle arm, sharp mind. This guy, I'll tell you what, this guy, I love this guy. Is the draft process? Is Will Howard's, how should I put this, connection to so much talent at Ohio State, is it hurting him, not affecting him? Is he being accurately judged in your mind? He seems like he's flying under the radar a little bit here. What's your thought on him?
I think he's starting to elevate because This is what I've talked to people about this, and it's hard because you try to look at his film at Kansas State, and the offense they were running was basically like the offense Ohio State ran when I was here. And it's not, I mean, you watched that, Rothman. I mean, it wasn't exactly high-powered a lot of the times. And his recruiting is
Hey, we call that win by the surest way. That's what we called it.
I told someone, I might be part of the worst national championship team in the history of college football, especially offensively. And I was explaining this to Jermaine Matthews, and he looked at me and how he wasn't even born then. I go, bro, our offense was bad. He's like, what do you mean? I go, we were terrible. He goes, I go, like 90th in the country bad. And he's like, what? He's like, how'd you guys win? I'm like, because we held teams to 10 points, and then we would get turnovers, and that's how we get it done. But Will, I think he was kind of judged a little bit, where they like, what is this film over here? And then you see Ohio State, and it's like, okay, first half of the season's pretty good. And then, like, that second half better. And then the last 4 games, like, this dude's out here looking like a 6'4" Drew Brees. Like, he's throwing darts. He's putting it on guys. That ball he throws to Mecca. Oh, how about this? Look at that. The best ball I've ever seen. And he drops it. Like, they're holding Mech's one arm, and he literally puts it on his left palm. Like, it is remarkable. So people are trying to reconcile that in their mind, like, well, which guy is he? And I think he's probably a lot more of that last guy. He's especially because you can use him a little bit in the run game. And it's funny. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting his name. The head coach of the Saints, Eagles coordinator last year.
Allen. Yeah, Dennis Allen. It's Kellen Moore now. Yeah,
Kellen Moore was a guy. Because I still look at Kellen Moore like he's the quarterback's coach and like 14 years old. But I was talking to him at the pro day, and he'd never been big on the quarterback run game because that's not what he was. And then he's like, "Well, I get Jalen Hurts." Like, well, let's do what this dude does well. Like, why am I going to not utilize one of his great assets? And so I think like people like that, you could argue that there's a lot of like Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts in Will Howard with what he's kind of able to do. He might not be quite the athlete of both of those guys, but he's big, he's physical, he can run hard. I think he's probably a little bit more accurate at this point, like coming out, than Jalen Hurts was, but Hurts has gotten to that point. And so I think people are just trying to figure all that out in their mind of what he could potentially be. But he's someone, I think, if you get to the right spot and he's got weapons, he'll never be a guy that you can just be like shoulder up and let's go. But if you have the weapons, like, and you have a good offensive line, I think he's a guy that you can get a lot done with.
We had Shefty on earlier, and he was just talking about how he talked to Will on his podcast, Bob, and just how impressed he was with him as a dude, right? Which we know, and just it seems like he's getting a lot of love, and rightfully so. Hopefully he can get an opportunity. Spring game right around the corner. Just want to ask you, outside of the quarterbacks, what are you most looking forward to seeing? What unit will you have your eye on come Saturday afternoon?
I think when you start looking at some of the receivers and like, all right, J.J. Smith. J.J.'s probably going to play like 10, 15 plays. You're not having him go out there and do anything foolish. But, some of the young guys, and even Carnell Tate, but I think seeing Mylan Graham, like to a lot of people, like he's just, he's a ghost. He's a myth running around out there. People have heard a lot about him. Like, oh, he wears the 5. He looks, he looks pretty sharp in it. Looks really good. And then another guy who lost his stripe and black stripe, and I've watched him make plays. It's like, because he's big, he's strong, but Quincy Porter is really looking good. And a lot of times when guys are big and strong, they may like kind of clunky and not good in and out of their routes yet, but he looks pretty polished. And he's a guy that I think is going to push for time this year. So he's been able to do a lot. So looking at some of those guys and how well they do, and then probably the last piece is the interior of that defensive line. Once you get past like Houston and McDonald, what do they look like after that, and how do those guys hold up?
Coach Day has taken out Showcase and put back in Game, but are you prescribing to that he can only show so much? These coaches have been very protective. They've canceled spring games for many reasons. What do you believe is the biggest reason that these schools are going away from them? And you think that Coach Day and Hartline will kind of make sure they hold things back a little bit on Saturday?
Well, I mean, when you start putting things out there and making it public, I think there is a reality where, hey, there's a luring, Rothman, a coercion to get guys, maybe coercing to get them into the portal. And, I know your big thing is there's things you'll do in private that you would never want people to know about or do in public. So I think there might be a little bit of that where we'll show some, but like how much do you really want to show of Quincy Porter? He's going to probably be your fourth or fifth guy. And so he's going to play, but someone else might see him and say, hey, gosh, this guy's really good. We'll give you $1 million and you can be our second receiver, our first receiver. It's like that's kind of what they have to battle against. So I think you'll see some, but I think they just have to balance like how much you're going to put on full display some of these guys who just due to the depth of the positions, like they might not be able to be the top dude this year, but next year and the year after, like you're going to be developed. And so having those good conversations and those good relationships is key. They're going to show you something. And I honestly, the thing that you're going to see a lot is the quarterbacks. And he's going to, I think, force them to make some plays because he got to still figure out what he's got. Because I don't think he knows. Everybody pretends like it was Julian's job. I'm telling you right now, Lincoln has played really well. And it's not that Julian has been disappointing, but like someone's got to make the jump. And like neither one is kind of separated yet.
Looking at the two running backs for Ohio State that are now in the draft, Quinshon, Travion, I think one of those or maybe both those guys, Bob, have made a visit to Dallas. Your thoughts on the Cowboys maybe drafting one of those guys and a potential fit there?
I think they like Trey. I was talking to Shoddy as that. He's like, dude, you can feel his speed as he's going through. I think they in Quinshon, maybe because they didn't have him in. I'm not sure even who they brought in. I know they had a Mecca down there. And one of their directors of scouting texted me. He's like, Emeka's in. I'm like, he's impressive. He goes, he's wowed everybody. I'm like, of course, because Emeka's a bright guy, super smart. I know Dallas has looked at like 5 or 6 guys of this group, and they like a lot of them. So it would not shock me. Like if you want a difference-making playmaker at running back, the Jahmyr Gibbs, like Trey's your guy. You think you want to meat and potatoes, kind of hammer the ball a little more, well, then it might be Q. And so it just kind of depends on what you think you have and what you might need and how you might utilize it. But I think Shoddy, I think there is an element of like, hey, depending on where these guys fall, maybe Trey could be that guy that'd be a difference maker out of the backfield.
All right, brother. It's been a business doing pleasure with you. And, we'll see each other soon.
Absolutely. Hopefully at midnight on the L, Rothman, you driving around with me.
You ever been on a train at midnight, Joel? It's exhilarating.
Just find that giant egg together, Rothman.
Bob, ideal in human fulfillment. I grossed over $8,000 in one night. Time of your life, huh, kid? Indeed. All right, brother. See you Saturday or sooner.
Yes, sir. You guys have a good one.
See you, man.
Bobby Carpenter, Morning Juice on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. All right, we'll stick with the Buckeyes, come back with a bulletin, and this man is really pumped for an increased role. We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Bats are us when dreams sunk in. Bats are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Bats are us when dreams sunk in. Bats are us.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter. He'll be there quick.
Hey, it's Anthony for Orthopedic One. I'm not invincible anymore. I never was, but I refuse to punt on things I still love to do. That's why over the past several years, when I've had things creep up, like back pain, shoulder issue, elbow problem, I've had it all, I've always chosen Orthopedic One. That's because Orthopedic One is Ohio's largest physician-owned orthopedic practice with 60 physicians in every specialty. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com. Orthopedic One. This is where you go to get better.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
Skyline nachos are back, and now there's a spicy version. Get them with Skyline's cheddar or habanero cheese, topped with fiery jalapeno slices. But hurry, Skyline's regular and new spicy nachos are only at participating restaurants for a limited time.
Get ready to be back in the shoe. The Ohio State Buckeyes football spring game, presented by Union Home Mortgage, kicks off on Saturday, April 12th at noon in Ohio Stadium. Watch as Coach Day and the Buckeyes take the field for an action-packed game day atmosphere. Feel the thrill of game day-style reps and the excitement of cheering on our reigning champs. Find out how you can take a photo with a national championship trophy, only available at BuckeyeExperiences.com. Join us for a celebration of Buckeye football and a preview of what's to come this fall. Tickets start at just $8 and are on sale now at OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
This is big. Rent-A-Center's biggest discount is on. From April 6th to April 12th, take 50% off the total cost to own on all items in-store or online, only at Rent-A-Center. 50% off offer reduces the total amount necessary to acquire ownership pursuant to rental purchase agreement. Offer valid on new agreements entered into April 6, 2025 through April 12, 2025. Participating locations only.
Ryan Day's Buckeyes are back on the practice field as they get ready for whatever the hell they're calling the spring game. And we're your home for all the on and off field gossip. Your Buckeye flagship station, The Fan. The Fan.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
SoFi Personal Loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right, pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi Personal Loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply, NMLS 696891.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. And, you know, this guy was a part of Ohio State's 23 recruiting class. He enrolled in classes, I think, in the summer of 23. And he was kind of a can't-miss dude. Top five-star kid and top 25 overall player, not just as a receiver. He was top 3 receiver, and I think he was top 6 in the state of Florida. And I'm talking about Brandon Inniss. And I do believe he's fairly cemented now, Maddie, as the new starting slot receiver. He's going to be an impact player for Ohio State this year. He's got big cleats to fill, Emeka Egbuka's cleats. And so looking for big things from Brandon Inniss. And he talked about how pumped he is for an expanded role.
It feels amazing. I feel like finally my time is now. And I feel like I've been patient. And I never questioned the decision I made to come here, and I knew I had to stick through hard times, and I feel like it's finally paying off.
It's exactly to the word of what Matty Ice said when he came to the Fan, and then they told him that he was going to be now the daily host. Like, if you play that again, it's eerily similarly the exact words.
It wouldn't be far off.
Matty
That's
Ice
for darn
said,
sure.
My time is now.
And then in the background, John Cena's theme song, The Time Is Now, started to play as I said that. But no, for Brandon, he's got to be fired up about this. How could you not, right? Because sometimes it's easy to forget that these guys, as you laid out, AR, are coming from being the guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the patience that you have to have sometimes cannot be easy, especially when you have the temptation now of not only transferring, but transferring somewhere and potentially getting paid to be the guy for somebody else. So got to have a high level of respect for Brandon Ennis and other guys that have gone in every day, put in the work, and really haven't had that opportunity or had that workload put on their plate. But there's no doubt it seems like he has the potential skill-wise to do it, but more importantly now the opportunity to do that. And with the attention that's going to be paid to the other wide receivers on the outside with Jeremiah and Carnell, sometimes you're going to find yourself in a good amount of one-on-one situations, and you're going to have to take advantage of those. So, yeah, he's a guy on deck that's been waiting his time, looking forward to seeing what he can do and the connection he can make with the quarterback, but will not be surprised at all if we're talking midseason down the end part of the season of Brandon Ennis being an impactful player and making some noise this year.
Yeah, listen, a guy coming out of the slot with a young quarterback, he could be counted on. He wasn't a guy that certainly got a lot of action last year as far as seeing balls thrown his way. I mean, he caught less passes than G. Scott did, and he's a tight end. So when you had Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Egbuka and Carnell Tate, you had that three-headed monster, you knew somebody was going to be on the outside looking in. But Brandon Ennis was pretty much next man up. And so now it's truly there with Emeka being gone. So I think everyone is very much looking forward to what he can bring to the table. All right, let's go to Carnell Tate, also a guy that we know can be that guy. And here he is on what Emeka did for that receiver room.
Emeka talked to each and every one of us. He had a relationship, a connection with each and every one of us. We were able to come to Emeka as a man before a player and a teammate. So he allowed us to do that and opened up our eyes.
Beauty of this receiving room now is that the mentorship they have from the guys. Now, Jeremiah is one of one. We know that. But this guy's a rising star. We've seen it. And he played in a lot of games. He's played in big games. And now he's ready to go. So it's his time. He's a tall receiver. So he's 6'3", a little over 6'3", and all of a sudden he's going to be a guy when you focus on Jeremiah, when these defenses come to play and say, hey, they do that classic, anybody but him. Guess who it's going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be him. And I love that clip that you heard there because, sometimes it's bigger than football. It's not only leading by example and doing all those things that it takes to be a great receiver day in and day out with the routes and taking care of your body, but I think those are the things that can bring a team closer together, is being able to have those conversations about life or family or whatever it may be, having a guy or guys in a room that you can go to and feel comfortable talking about those things. That's not a coach. I think it's a valuable thing to have, and will not be surprised if he's one of those guys that can step up and be that guy based off of what he learned from Emeka, which I think is very valuable to have.
Some other little news coming out of the football program that Ohio State is signing to a new multi-year deal. They're what they now call the general manager of the staff, and that's Mark Pantoni. So he's a player personnel, and he agreed to a new contract today. And so he'll be one of the highest paid. It's weird for me to use the word GM in college football because I wish I would have invented that. But the fact that he got a multi-year deal and he's going to get paid the way he's going to get paid, how much he means to the program.
Oh, yeah.
They're not passing out that money to a guy that's just kind of overseeing things.
Yeah, no doubt, AR. He's been a name that we've heard and talked about for years, and rightfully so, because outside of the players, outside of the coaches, he's a guy, and Coach Marotti's a guy that you hear so much about when it comes to the importance of having them around, right? The Body by Marotti program to get the guys ready to go, but Pantoni and what he means behind the scenes and working with recruits and working with the players and their families and all that stuff. No surprise at all that dude got an extension, well-deserved, just from everything you've heard about him for years and expecting him to just continue to do great things over there at the Woody. So that's awesome to hear.
Came with Urban from Florida and has lived through another regime and now is flourishing, so congrats to him. That is today's Buckeye Bulletin.
Fellas, did you know that the Columbus Men's Clinic is celebrating 10 years of treating thousands and thousands of local men? The CMC is the largest and most experienced men's health practice right here in Columbus. They specialize in some great things that are going to make you feel better as a guy. If you're a little sluggish, just feeling down, don't have that same energy you used to have to do the things that you love, get on over to the Columbus Men's Clinic. Their ED, low T, and weight loss treatments truly change lives, guys, and their experience makes the difference. Call 614-300-7400. That's 614-300-7400, or go online to columbusmensclinic.com to book an appointment today. columbusmensclinic.com.
All right, we come back top of the hour after a Sports Center update. The Masters starts tomorrow. So we'll go winner, contender, deep sleeper. We'll define the criteria for you. And, Maddie, the words the broadcasters cannot say.
Uh-oh.
At Augusta. That's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Here's a listener tweet. Can I tase Common Man in the nuts? Fine by us, but he may like it. Common Man and Tebow.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
When your sump pump is no longer sumping and pumping, please don't become a sump pump grump.
A sump pump grump thinks whacking the pump will make it start working again.
But it never does.
Get Eco.
ECO. A sump pump grump will let a faulty sump pump completely ruin a perfectly good day.
Fortunately, I've invented a solution.
No more sump pump grump?
No more sump pump grump.
Get Eco.
ECO. Tell me about it, Jerry.
The solution is that you get Eco to do a sump pump inspection.
What would that include?
We check your pump, your battery backup, and all the downspouts and drains along the way to make sure everything is running clear.
How much?
That's up to you, Aaron.
Jerry, Eco would be happy to do that for just $89.
That's a great price.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
Go to geteco.com.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, three-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to lifesearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit lifesearch.com today.
Your home is more than just four walls and a roof. It's where life happens, where memories are made, where family gathers, and where you should feel safe. At Newman Roofing, we know that when it's time for a new roof, you want to feel confident that you've hired the right company, one that will install a quality roof and complete the work as promised. But with so many roofing companies out there, how do you know which one to trust? For over 30 years, Newman Roofing has helped more than 7,500 families protect their homes with quality roofing, gutters, and siding. We believe you deserve a company that provides a white glove customer experience, one that pays attention to every detail and treats your home like it's our own. At Newman Roofing, we're not just another roofing company. We're a family-built business that stands behind our work. So when it's time to replace your roof, don't settle for uncertainty. Choose the local family with a reputation for excellence. Choose the company you can trust. Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, JOEQ. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. The Cincinnati Reds go for the sweep this afternoon in San Francisco as they take on the Giants at 3:45. Nick Martinez gets the ball for Cincy opposite Justin Verlander. You can hear it on the Fans HD3 beginning at 3:15. Up at Progressive Field, the Cleveland Guardians and Chicago White Sox play Game 2 of their series at 6:10. Logan Allen versus Sean Burke, the pitching matchup in that one. After getting rained out yesterday, the Columbus Clippers with a doubleheader in Worcester versus the Red Sox. 4:05 first pitch for game number 1. Over at Bill Davis Stadium, the Buckeye baseball team taking on Kent State at 4 today. Matt Andrews has the call over on ESPN Columbus at 3:55. This one's sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Earn a $200 cash bonus with a home equity line of credit from BMI FCU. Visit bmifcu.org/home-equity.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
All right, back at it. Final hour of the program. Masters tomorrow. The annual rite of spring. I don't think you have to love golf to be intrigued by it. I think there's still enough big names to attract. I know the no Tiger thing, but we've been down that road a while now. I know that you don't have Phil technically truly being a contender anymore, but I think the appeal is pretty obvious. It's that damn golf course. It's elite. It's exclusive. You can't buy your way in. It's got great history. It's the only major they play at the same course, and it's so freaking beautiful and mysterious and fairy tale-like and folklorish that I think that's what it is. I think it's for the same reason that people make their bucket list for certain stadiums and arenas and not necessarily teams. You're going to the Masters if you can get there, if you're lucky enough to win the lottery and get there, because of the place. And I've been fortunate enough to win the lottery twice. It can happen. I did it like a Halley's Comet. It was like 17, 18 years apart. I can't remember. The first year may have been 05 or 06. I can't even remember. Whatever the year Mickelson won. And then I went back again 2 years ago. So it was, if you've ever seen, I don't know if either one of you guys have seen Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So do you remember the scene where Costner's daughter, I think her name was Karen in the movie, falls off the bleachers? You know, James Earl Jones is there. She's choking on the hot dog. She falls off the bleachers. And Burt Lancaster, one of my favorites, and certainly one of my dad's favorites, plays Archibald Moonlight Graham, Dr. Graham. And his dream was always to be a ball player. And he's out there. He finally gets involved with in the Field of Dreams, and he gets his moment. And then, but he's a doctor by trade, and he has to save this kid. And so everyone's yelling, what are we going to do? And he's a doctor, and he kind of steps up, and then they realize that if he steps off the field, he can't go back. But he had his moment, and he's a doctor. He heals people, and there's a kid that's choking. And when he steps off the field and his cleats turn into like dress shoes, the wingtips, and he's got his doctor bag there, that's what it felt like for me when I got to the Masters. If you walk in and you're walking down a path and there's the gift shop and everything and the food and all that. And I entered where you came in right at 1 tee, 1 fairway, big scoreboard there. And you step into and you step on like the pine straw or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I had that moment. I felt like you had opened a book, a fairy tale, and I stepped into it. That's how I felt when I went there. I think that's what the Masters is for a lot of people. Now, I love golf. Mm-hmm. This might sound very sappy to people who are listening that don't like golf, but I do think that Augusta does transcend for a lot of reasons. Maybe it is just the historic nature of it, the guys that have won there, the fact that the greatest champion ever, Jack Nicklaus, has won it 6 times, one time at age 46. And so I do think that it doesn't mean, because when I talked to Jack and he said, well, winning the United States Open was more important to me than winning the Masters, his nation's national title. But that moves around, and the Masters doesn't. And it has that history, and it's a small field, and they're big in paying attention to history. They're former champs, the dinners, all that. They're kind of the last to kind of feel like they were going to keep the live boys out, because they're all about history. And they had champs that went to live, Dustin and Reed and those guys, Brooks. And so, well, wait a minute. Koepka's never won. Koepka, am I wrong about that? Why do I think that he's...
Did he get him one? I don't think he has. Does he have one? A green jacket? My knee-jerk reaction is no.
I don't think so. Does he have the Masters? No. Came in second twice.
Okay.
That's why. Yeah.
So he's been knocking on the door.
Yeah.
You know what I find interesting, too, is this thing's been, by some, labeled like the Super Bowl of golf.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so early in the golf calendar, like the timing of it. Usually, like, you're ramping up to what is the biggest event, like we just did with March Madness or like we do with the playoffs. But for golf, you get this banger of a tournament right out of the gate, which I think is pretty cool to see. So it's always, for me, must-see TV. I'm not the biggest golf guy like you are, but come Saturday and Sunday, I'm locked into this thing. Like, I really am locked into this thing. It's unfortunate that the sport doesn't have that needle mover the way that it did years ago with Tiger, but Tiger's a historical figure in the sport, with just what he meant to just so many people around the sports world, not even golf. Like, Scotty is a recognizable name, no doubt. So is Rory. But for a lot of people, like, you get past those two guys in the sport, if you are not really in it, in the golf world, they don't really have that. And I'm hoping that comes back, because it's great. It's a really fun sport to watch when you have guys competing at the highest level like they have, but guys that have a little bit more to them than sometimes that robotic feel that you get from some golfers. But regardless of that, man, this weekend usually delivers as always, and I can't wait to lock in and see what we get. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm certainly going to root for Rory to finally get it done. The pressure's mounting big time. The longer he goes without one, the tougher it's going to be. But he got the players this year. We'll see. I mean, there's certainly some picks. I do the fact that, at first I was like, don't let the live guys in. Like, keep them out. They left. They want to deal with. They want their cake and eat it too. But now that they're back, and you have an intermix of those guys with Bryson and Brooks and Scheffler and Rory, you have the best of the best. So no one's going to deny that. It's also a tournament that guys don't usually run away. Sunday becomes compelling no matter what. It's a rarity to have a golf tournament outside of Tiger back in the late 90s where a guy's going to just run away from this, and then there's no drama on the back. I shouldn't say back nine. They don't like you to say the back nine. They like you to say the second nine.
Oh, come on.
Yes. You don't want to say, don't call it a driving range.
It's the back nine.
Don't call it a driving range, Matty.
Augusta's way too bougie.
It's a tournament practice area.
The second nine. Get out of here.
Let me give you some other words that you can't say.
Second nine. That's ridiculous.
Obviously, don't call them fans. They're patrons.
Oh, God.
You can't even call it the rough, which is weird. It's called the second cut.
What are they going to do if they hear me saying that if I'm on the course? Kick me out?
Not you, the broadcasters, the people that that are on the broadcast.
Okay.
They'll get a slap on the wrist.
Well, I'd love for them to try to do that.
There is no
do
rough.
that to Nance.
Well, Nance knows better. Nance would never do that.
But if he did it, they're not going to do anything to Jim Nance. They can't. So those rules, whatever, they're in the wind.
No, but it's unrealistic to think he would.
No, but my hypothetical is
they would
if
do it
he
to
does,
others.
they're not kicking Jim
No. He just knows
off
better.
the grounds.
It's not a sand trap.
It's not a
I'm assuming it's a bunker.
Allowed?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm assuming it's a bunker.
Okay.
It's not the back 9. It's the second 9. I told you it's not a driving range. It's a tournament practice area.
Okay.
And it's not a country club or a golf course. It's Augusta National Golf Club.
The people that put all this stuff together, I'm sure, are fun at parties.
It's not a twosome. It's a pairing. All right.
Okay.
It's not the 4th round. It's the final round. I love that one because it's stupid to say 4th round.
I can
it is
rock
the final
with that.
round.
I can rock with that.
It's kind of that one I put in the category of if you ever, well, I'll bring Chet into this one. You do updates on the Fan. Please tell me that you've never in your life of doing updates said the lower score first.
No. What? The lower score first.
Like if the Jackets lost last night instead of won.
They lost 3-4? No, I've never done that.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard anybody do it?
No.
I have. It's jarring, man. It's not good. I don't care if it's your team, your hometown team.
You can't do it.
You cannot do it.
I'm with you.
Always say the winning score first. Nobody ever lost 58-62. That doesn't work. They lost 62-58. If that was their score, you don't say that one first.
You know, the other thing that's kind of similar that just drives me nuts personally is when somebody reads a NBA player or basketball player's line, and they don't do from highest numbers to lowest numbers regardless of the category. Like I like to see the highest point total, and then whether it's rebound or assist, whatever your highest numbers are, go down, scale down. I don't like when it's mismatched together.
So I can't
points
say
has to be first though, right?
No doubt. Points has to be first.
Okay, that's what I was questioning because I didn't want to.
He's got 11 and 9, but 11 rebounds, 9 points. Like you got to have points.
I don't like that.
It has to be points.
But
first.
if a guy has like 25 points. Okay. And then I think it's supposed to go rebounds or assists or whatever. I don't think there should be
rebounds. In the box score, it should be rebounds, then assists.
I want his higher numbers first. So, like, if his assists are higher than his rebounds, if he had 9 assists and 5 rebounds, I want 29, 9, and 5. Not 29, 5, and 9. That's just me,
So if he had
personally.
9 assists, you want that red second. See, that's not horrible, but to me, it always goes in order of points, rebounds, assists.
It's just my little personal thing.
It's never been out of that order.
It's always bugged me. I don't know why, but it does.
Like if he had 6 steals, but only 4 rebounds.
I want the steals first.
See, I know where you're going with it, but it's always, I kind of go from
I hear you.
reading.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's always bothered me, and I don't know why.
All right, when we come back, because it'll be our Bet365 segment, we'll pick our winner and our contender. And then our deep sleeper has to be at least 100-1 or better. Worse, depending on how you look at it. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, 3-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, 2-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to lifesearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit lifesearch.com today.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is.
Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
I've had a number of surgeries, and frankly, I don't have time to rehab a surgery and an operation at this point in my life. I didn't want to take time off my kids' activities.
That's why former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter turned to QC Kinetics. We couldn't be happier saving our patients like him from operating rooms and long recoveries.
I've been able to resume like normal activity for me, which is a lot of running. It's a lot of workouts. I've been very, very blessed with how it's been able to hold out.
For so long, patients have accepted surgery as the only solution. But with new technologies, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics use regenerative treatments, your body's own biologics, to help heal and restore knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
I actually ran into a friend of mine over at our golf course, and he had his knee done. It felt so well. He'd got his shoulder done. He goes, I can't thank you enough. He'd heard the commercial on the air, and so it's feeling great.
Find out how you can avoid surgery and finally get relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a room of rejected mascot memorabilia. Is it real? No one knows. But we do know NJM is proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
All of our local shows have been ranked in the top 10 in the country by our industry peers, except for Timmy Hall and the Buckeye Show. I was going to make a joke about it, but it's more sad than anything. Poor Timmy, the fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Hey there, I'm Brad. I'm about to win the Tuesday Night Bowling League Championship. I'm also a highway worker for the Ohio Department of Transportation. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can bowl the winning strike with my buddies.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. Remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Brought to you by ODOT, USDOT, NHTSA, and ODPS.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens at your latest forecast. Somewhat sunny before clouds increase this afternoon as rain chances return by the late afternoon and early evening. Temperatures will be in the 50s later today, low 40s tonight, and 60s tomorrow as rain and storm chances continue into your Thursday. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Free Snap Leads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Bet365 time.
Let me tell you that at Bet365, folks, we don't do ordinary. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. If you're a new customer, they got something really cool for you because you're going to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. So make sure you download the Bet365 app today, and they'll have some really good stuff over there for you to play. Before we get into our master stuff, I was waking up this morning, and I smelt revenge in the air. And this is coming from one Luka Doncic. Because Luka's going back to Dallas for the first time tonight.
So what you're saying is whoever smelt it dealt it?
Yeah.
All
First time tonight, he's going back to Dallas. Give me Luka. Give me Luka. I'm going all in. I'm going crazy. Plus 500 for a 40-point game from Luka Doncic tonight.
Crazy, I tell you.
Plus 500 for Luka going back. He is going to be foaming at the mouth after every bucket. He's probably going to be looking at Nico Harrison saying, you were out of your mind for trading me, and you're going to learn today, like Kevin Hart said. So give me plus 500 for Luka Doncic to get the 40 points tonight going back to Dallas.
All right. By the way, we cashed on the no homer in the cold.
We really did.
Guards went on a walk-off, but it wasn't a homer. It was a walk-off.
Mm-hmm. It was a plus 390?
320,
320 yesterday? Okay.
So we got it. I don't know if anybody listened. we by the way, we kept it very conservative. We didn't attach another game to it. We saw the weather. We decided to play the no home run game at plus 320. A win's a win.
Yeah, we'll take it.
All right, so here's the thing I want to go to because the Masters is tomorrow. So I'm going to bet on no hole in one.
Okay. This just real quick? Sorry, tomorrow
for
the
whole
tournament.
Weekend?
Okay,
for the tournament.
I got you.
Yeah, par threes today. There'll be plenty of them, I assume. So according to Bet365 odds that I checked yesterday, no hole in one is plus 140. Now you're probably asking, boy, why are you getting plus value on no hole in one?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's because at 16. Where that Sunday pin is, everything funnels towards that hole. You hit it to the upper part of the green, you're going to get a chance at an ace most times. But I started looking back at this and how often you get a hole-in-one at the Masters. And since 1934, there have been a total of 34 aces there. So the average is 0.39 aces per event. Now, 8 years you had multiple aces. But as a result, there has been at least one ace in 24 of the 88 Masters, but that's only 27%. In the last 25 years, there have been a total of 20 aces of the Masters, 6 years with multiple ones. So that leaves 12 of the last 25 years with at least an ace, so that's 48%. So I understand, it's a coin flip, but I'm getting plus money on no. Why would I take the bad money on yes?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the no hole in one at plus 140 and just hope for some drama, but nothing disappearing.
Yeah, no,
that's all. Just have a little fun.
I think it's a good call.
All right. Where are you on Masters winner?
This is me just picking a guy that I want to see get it done. And it's Rory.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for him.
Good for you.
I know he just picked up a nice win. What, at the PGA? Players, thank you. So he's got some good momentum going.
The fifth major, Matty.
Right. They fooled me with that one. I was like, my whole life, I swear, y'all told me this was a major, but I guess it's not. But plus 650 right now. Over at Bet365, you can get Rory. I've just found myself rooting for him, right? This whole major thing's been kind of hovering over him for a while. We know it's in him. He came out of the gate smoking as a young lad in the world of golf. And so I think it's his time. I want this for him this weekend. So I'm going Rory plus 650.
I hope you win that. I'm going to go a little deeper into the odds, not much deeper. And I'm going to go with the guy. It just seems like he's been the narrative.
Okay.
And so why not lean into the narrative? I did this for the March Madness, and then I second-guessed myself, so I won't do it. This guy's making his sixth Masters start. He's finished top 10 in each of the past 3. He's never missed the cut. And he's the guy that everybody wants to talk to but didn't want to talk. And so I'm doing it again.
Okay.
And I'm going with Colin Morikawa. Morikawa Bell. No one is hitting the ball better than him this year, including your guy, Rory. And he's gotten better on the greens there. And he's been the best ball striker in the world all year. And he's being overshadowed by Scotty and Rory, understandably. He was tied for third last year. And here's the more important part. He's a 2-time major champ. So he knows what the pressure's like. I think his game is there. That's important. He's got the experience. That is important. And he's been the narrative guy about not talking. I hope that doesn't distract him. But I'll go with Morikawa Bell to win the Masters.
Okay.
Who's your contender? This can be anybody, really, that won't win, but you think will be there on Sunday.
This is a guy that finished second in the Masters in 2019.
Okay.
This is also a man, AR, that won 2 majors in 2024, that being the PGA Championship and the Open. I'm going to go with X going to give it to you.
Ooh.
Give me Xander. Give me Xander to get this thing done. AR, he's at 22-1 over at Bet365. So nothing crazy with the odds, but I like the X-Man. So I'm going with him as my, quote, contender this weekend.
I'm going to go with my contender, which could be a top 10 finish. And I'm going to go to a guy that came into his first Masters and made a big splash. He's 19-1. Doesn't have a lot of experience there, but he's as talented as anybody. And I'm going with Ludwig Oberg at 19-1 to be my contender. Who's your deep sleeper? This has to be 100-1 or worse.
And listen, I got to be honest. A lot of these guys, when you get to 101, I don't know them. I don't know a lot of these guys when you get to that area of the odds land. I mean, Phil's at what? Plus 11,000.
Phil Connors?
Adam Scott, same thing.
You could go deep. Harmon just won. You got to be kind of long to be good at the Masters. It's 7,500 plus yards.
What about the Gala?
Okay, so I like the Gala and I actually wrote him down. He's played well there the last couple years.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of a swashbuckler. You don't know if he's got the consistency to get it all the way to the finish line, but I do like him at 100 to 1. It's not a bad play at all.
Yeah, I'm going to lock that in. Give me Sahith Theegala. Why not?
Okay, I like him too, so I'll pivot now and maybe go with... Boy, I could really go down the board here.
Go with lefty.
No.
You're off lefty?
Yeah, no. I mean, he could, but I don't see it.
What about Bubba Watson?
He's going to peter out by Sunday. How about... Where is...
Who are you looking for?
Where's Corey Connors? What is his...
Corey Connors.
He's got a top 10 finish there in 3 of his last 4.
Why can I not?
He's a
Corey
Canadian.
Connors
Where's
is plus 5,000, so he doesn't qualify.
50 to 1.
Yeah, he's 50 to 1.
What about...
like a Justin Rose?
Where is he at?
Plus 100.
Ooh, I like Rose there.
Justin Rose plus 100. Brian Harmon plus 100.
I'll tell you what. Give me where's Cameron Young?
Where's Cam Young?
Cam Young, who was the Rookie of the Year a couple years ago. He's a Wake Forest guy. He's played well there. Top 10 a couple years ago, I think.
Plus
maybe
150.
There you go. That's it.
Okay.
Mark me down for a Cameron Young.
Plus 150?
Let my golfer go.
There you go. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Again, download the Bet365 app. Today, 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Offer subject to meeting qualifying criteria.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
It's great betting the Masters because of the small field and maybe a long shot could get one. And the field doesn't run away.
The weather's supposed to be like this week.
You know, it rained earlier this week. I don't know. That's
I think pretty good.
Is it? Okay.
I checked earlier in the week because I saw that it was raining. I think it was raining yesterday.
Friday, potential rain, it looks like. And then Saturday, low 60s, Sunday, high 60s.
Because I got a buddy who's there. Actually, he and his brother are there because their dad won the lottery, and it's their birthday this past week.
He's there today. He won the Wednesday par 3. It's very rare to win the lottery and get a tournament day.
You know what?
Usually you'll get a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. And if you got Monday, you're really screwed because they had to evacuate. But
he's definitely there today.
It's the best day to be there, and I'm going to tell you why real fast.
Okay.
A, it's the par 3, and B, you can bring a camera, not your phone, but an actual camera.
Who has those? Just
I had one.
Around.
I had an old digital.
Did you?
Yeah, I still had one.
Let me ask you this: what's the perk in winning the lottery and going Monday or Tuesday? What are you doing there?
Practice rounds, following them around.
Okay,
same thing. Buying stuff in the pro shop, Maddie. They sell stuff there.
Yeah, I heard.
And then
your whole bank account's going to be empty.
Yeah, but you're
leave.
making it up on the food. It's cheap. Now, I would love the 2 times I went, I did luck out and win on Wednesday, both par 3s. I would love to get a tournament day.
That's how
I'd
you
love
do
it because it's really cash.
Yeah.
All right, we will come back. Speaking of odds, Heisman odds on that guy. We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
We're catching up with that famous deep-sea explorer, Jacques Black Jacques. Jacques, where are you today? You're in Columbus. What could you possibly be exploring in Columbus?
The April showers bring flooding to Batmans.
Oh, I see. Spring rains mean basements are flooding.
This not necessary. Apex Pros.
Not necessary. Call Apex Pros.
A simple zoom pump chick.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble understanding this. Zoom, poom,
chick.
Sump pump check. Are you saying sump pump check? Yes, of course. Sump pump check from the pros who knows at Apex Pros.
They come to your house.
They come to your house.
They test your zoom pump.
They test your, what is it again?
Zoom pump.
Sump pump, right.
All with a 5-star guarantee.
All with a 5-star guarantee. Now, see, I understood that perfectly.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I always have the greenest lawn in the neighborhood. It's luscious. I swear by two things, water and Weed Man. Weed Man is locally owned and operated by Corbin and Audrey. They will make sure your lawn is weed-free and looking gorgeous. Of course, they get rid of weeds, but they also do aeration, mosquito control, grub control, crabgrass prevention, and flea and tick control for your four-legged friends. For a free quote, give them a call, 614-733-3747, weedmanusa.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony can follow direction very well as long as he first prints out MapQuest. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Tell them about it, Ice.
What you're referring to, my man, is a cool event happening at Nationwide Arena because you can join the Columbus Blue Jackets for a special presentation from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Saturday at Nationwide Arena, each ticket purchased includes an exclusive, pregame panel discussion with Hall of Famers Anthony Munoz and Dick Vermeil, hosted by Ryan Baker from Bishop and Friends. The first 150 to purchase the package will receive an exclusive Pro Football Hall of Fame and Columbus Blue Jackets co-branded mini football helmet. Go to bluejackets.com/Hall of Fame for your tickets today. Again, that's bluejackets.com/Hall of Fame.
So Coach Vermeil will be on with us hopefully tomorrow for Gold Jacket Thursday.
There we go.
And the other part about that event, which you and I hosted last year, which is great, and Bake will crush it this year, is that helmet is very cool. It's a mini helmet, and you'll never get one like it because it's got the Hall of Fame logo on one side and the Blue Jackets logo on the other, and then they'll both sign it, and you'll have a keepsake. And last year we had Orlando Pace and Anthony Munoz.
Yep.
So you had a couple Hall of Famers there. So very cool. And like I said, if you've not been up to Canton in a long time, it's time you get there. And they've just built it out so nicely. It is what it is. It's the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You got to go. All right, so let's deal with maybe some future Hall of Famers and where we stand on this. Were you a little surprised to see Jeremiah as high as he is in the Heisman as a non-quarterback?
No.
Because
he's just
a lot of people think he's the best player in college football.
Yeah, he's built different. So that didn't surprise me.
Okay, so do you have the odds in front of you?
I do.
All right. Why don't we start? Let's not be hypocrites. Let's start at the top.
Starting off at the top, tied for first would be Arch Manning, quarterback for Texas, followed by Garrett Nussmeier, quarterback for LSU at plus 800. Coming in second right now is Cade Klubnik at 10-1, followed by guys tied for third being Dante Moore, what is going to be the new starter for Oregon, and Dan Lanning. And then Jeremiah Smith right now is tied for third at 12-1, with obviously all quarterbacks ahead of him. Shortly after him in fourth is Julian Sand at plus 15. And so for Jeremiah, you look up and down this thing, he is surrounded by nothing but quarterbacks until you get really deep into the weeds. So he's got the talent to do it. There's no doubt. And I think for him, you just have to have some of the narrative juice behind your name before the season starts when I think it comes to some of these awards. And obviously he already has that because of what he did last year. More times than not, guys like Jeremiah are going to win the Biletnikoff. That's just been the history of this sport. But with the unknowns right now, when it comes to Ohio State, he's going to have, I think, that energy around him that he is the tide that keeps this thing afloat for the most part. And I think when you have that, you're going to have a chance to be in the mix for the Heisman conversation as a wide receiver, because I believe the production will be there. And I think without them having that veteran household name at quarterback, I think that can actually benefit Jeremiah when we get to Heisman conversations down the road.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that, first of all, the fact he's the only non-position guy, he's not dealing with a running back, he's not dealing with another receiver, that he could become kind of the it guy if the other quarterbacks kind of steal votes from each other. Mm-hmm. And that's it. If the other quarterbacks don't separate, and he separates big time as a receiver, doesn't happen very often. You know, Devontae Smith, Desmond Howard, those are few and far between, right? Yep. Where you're and Devontae was leading a team to an undefeated season and into the playoff for Bama. So you've got to have it all if you're a receiver. And the numbers you're probably going to have to get to win it as a receiver would probably be somewhere in the, because he had 76 catches last year. I'm going to tell you, I think he has to catch at least 90 to kind of be in that mix. Now, if the quarterbacks serve, they can't flop. They're not going to all flop, but they have to be, there can't be a separator. And then you've got something. Then if you're deciding who the best player in college football is, and the quarterbacks are kind of washing each other out a little bit, you might be attracted to, if he puts up the numbers that we think he's capable of putting up, if he can get to Devontae-esque, numbers. I don't know if he can. What did Devontae, I have to go back and look. Did he catch 100 passes? I don't think he did. Where was he yardage?
The year he won the Heisman, he had 1,856 yards.
Unreal.
Well, the other part of that, too, that's unreal.
It wasn't the full season.
That and the dude had 23 touchdowns that season. So he caught a $117, 1,856 through the air, and then 23 touchdowns as well.
Did he have, so Desmond had the punt returns. Woodson had the dual threat type stuff. And sometimes it takes that also to win it as a receiver. You have to be a punt returner. You have to be a guy that might score off one of those. And I know I'm not trying to compare 1991 to 2020. I think that would be very difficult just because of the way the game has evolved. Early 90s, there was a lot of running still. I'm not saying they weren't passing, but...
What about Tim Brown?
Yes, you could have something like that. Because I just brought up Desmond Howard. You know how many catches Desmond Howard caught the year he won the Heisman? We just told you that Smith caught, 98? Or you said 100 and something? Or
back in the day, I'm going to say when offenses were just built differently, 75?
61.
Okay, yeah.
Now, he had 950 yards receiving off those 61. And so I'm not saying it can't be done. It's a little harder to do with a first-time quarterback.
Yeah.
And then it's also could be a little harder with a quarterback who you want to just make the routine play routinely and not hit a lot of home runs. This will be a lot on Jeremiah to do it himself. He's very capable of it. Let's hear a little bit of the sound. Set this up for us, baby Chet. What did he have to say?
Yeah, here is him. I think this one's pretty interesting, talking about how big of a celebrity he is on campus nowadays.
I don't think I'll ever get used to it. I mean, it's a blessing for sure to see, everybody come out, all the Buckeye fans, and, everybody come up to me and, ask for pictures and everything. I mean, I wish I could get everybody, but, sometimes I can't do it. It's too much sometimes, but, I mean, some people, they understand, but, thank you for them and all, so.
Some people understand. Other people that won't. That's the life of being a star at Ohio State, and he is. He came in as hyped as anybody you've seen. Number one ranked player in the country, regardless of position. He was a guy that was supposed to be a can't miss, and he certainly turned into that right away. He's also a grown man at 6'3", 215, 220 pounds.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's the harder part. It's not just speed, it's physicality, it's 50-50 balls, it's the hands, it's the want to, and he's going to want to. And in a year, like you said, where there's not if Ohio State defense keeps Arch Manning in check in game one, advantage everybody else, and advantage Jeremiah Smith. I like Nussmeier. I've liked him for a while now. And sometimes LSU quarterbacks in their second year tend to hit. Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Like it just seems to be a trend that I'm paying attention to. It's nothing, could be cosmic stuff.
Well, and to your point, there's dudes down there as far as playmakers go. They produce those at a high clip. One guy that I like as I
know who you're going to say.
Bit of a sleeper right now. Who do you think it is?
DJ?
Let me guess.
I thought you were going to say Langway.
It's him. It's DJ
Lagway. Sorry.
Right now, he's at 20-1 over there. And I like the way Florida's schedule sets up for him because he has some of those showcase games very early on. September 13th at LSU. September 20th at Miami against Carson Beck. So you're talking back-to-back games, Garrett Nussmeier and Carson Beck, two guys that could win the Heisman in their own right this year. And then their next game after that is against Texas and Arch Manning. If Florida is good, and I don't know if they will be or not, the schedule sets up for DJ Lagway to really pop off and become a household name. The talent is there. He was a highly coveted recruit. And so that's just a name I'm interested in. As a bit of a sleeper right now is DJ Lagway because of the goods that he has as a quarterback, but the way the schedule sets up for him and what can be 3 showcase games in a row for him.
Split time with Mertz as a true freshman. Threw a little too many picks to touchdowns, but you're right. He can grow out of that. I do like Lenore Sellers. I think he's got, it's the rushing ability, Matty.
You like his Moses Malone goggles?
Yeah. I would say that when you have a big arm and you're fast as you know what, you got a chance to get in high. I've looked at South Carolina's schedule and all that, but if we're looking at maybe a little bit down the way of sleepers, the other guy that you want to see what he has coming back is Nico. And, that's a guy that he's got some raw ability.
Yeah, he does. He's got the experience now. He took that one lap around the track.
We all know how to pronounce it now.
And he's got the goods. He does. 16-1.
Yamaleava.
He's tied with Drew Aller over at Bet365 right now, 16-1.
Where is Lenoris?
He is at 18-1.
18-1. So right around your neighborhood of Lagway.
Yep.
All right, so kind of took our sleepers.
And for what it's worth, Desmond Howard that year would have been number 3 in the power conferences for receiving yards.
Okay.
So 950 at that point in time. And again, I'm eliminating like Houston, New Mexico, and especially Houston at that point in time and the ridiculous offense they were running. But 950 would have been top 3.
Sometimes, and I'm not giving him the Flutie treatment here that one play wins you the Heisman, but sometimes it can just put the cherry on top of the sundae, and for Desmond it did, for sure. All right, we'll come back. We'll tell the truth next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit. Pay no interest till 2030 plus $500 off your home improvement project. Restrictions apply. Call them today. 614-502-5220. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
Spring into a new vehicle at Crown Automotive Group of Dublin. Luxury, power, and adventure, all waiting for you. Explore our vast selection of exquisite Mercedes-Benz, the all-new rugged Ineos Grenadier, and the powerful lineup of Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram vehicles. Crown Automotive Group in Dublin is the only dealership in Columbus awarded a J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience. Visit Crown Automotive Group of Dublin on Perimeter Drive in Dublin or online at crowncarsdublin.com. Crown Automotive Group, the better way to buy.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey friends, Beamer here, 70 pounds down. Let that sink in. I'm officially 70 pounds down, all thanks to Awaken 180, and have transitioned smoothly into maintenance mode. This isn't just weight loss, this is life-changing stuff. I've dropped over 13% body fat, my visceral fat points are down by 8, and honestly, I feel like a completely new man. The coolest part, Awaken 180 just doesn't say congrats and then wave goodbye. They prepare you for maintenance, so now I get to reintroduce to myself foods that I love. Pizza, ice cream, very excited about all of that. My mindset's completely different though now. Do I crave junk food? Honestly, no. Can I eat those things now? Sure. Will I? Absolutely. But the difference is I no longer feel like I need them all the time. And Awaken 180's free support for life means that this weight's staying off. My body's now working for me instead of against me. I'm finally at my healthy baseline weight. I feel awesome. Change your mindset, change your life. Awaken 180 made it happen for me. And if it can happen for me, it can 100% happen for you. Check them out online at awaken180weightloss.com. awaken180weightloss.com.
Is it a game, a practice? Who cares? Join us for live coverage of the Ohio State Football Spring Showcase.
Coverage starts Saturday at 10. Sponsored by Crown Automotive Group in Dublin.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Hey, living with chronic pain, it's like trying to get comfortable on a cactus sofa, walking on pins and needles. Nothing feels good. And forget trying to do the things you love and enjoy. Like the spring, it's getting warm, whether you want to golf, whether you want to hike, whether you want to bike, whether you want to play pickleball. You're just trying to get by. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter here. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. Finally, calm that debilitating joint pain in your knee just like I did. Maybe it's your hip, your shoulder, your back. Don't miss a beat, no surgery or long recovery. I'm done with getting cut on. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They give you your life back. A life healthier, free of harmful meds. That's the whole mission of QC Kinetics. You could be a candidate. So go to qckinetics.com/Columbus to find out how easy it is. They've got offices now in Canal and Grove City. So call 380-208-4544.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. For all your window needs, visit windownation.com.
All right, loose cannon, take us home.
All right, so I came up with an idea.
Oh, no.
I know.
Wait. Feed mayonnaise right to the tuna. Call Starkist.
Again,
that kind of an idea?
Another movie reference I did not understand.
Okay.
Well, that's okay.
You're an idea man.
People get nervous when I get ideas.
Tell the truth. Is tuna fish only good on crackers?
No. That's what I get at Jimmy John's.
I made it.
Really?
Yeah.
Maddie.
It's good.
No.
When I first left home as a young lad.
Left the nest?
When I first got pushed out of the nest and hit the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my first job in this tiny little town in northern Michigan. I survived on tuna and spaghetti.
Okay.
I would buy cans of tuna and make my own tuna melts like every day. Rye bread, little like Swiss cheese, and melt it on the tuna. Or spaghetti.
O's?
Just spaghetti in a pot. Then buy a. Yes, we're on the same wavelength. And buy some ragu. Heat it up in the microwave, just pour it on top. I didn't even really mix it. That's what I lived on for a year. So you can do it.
I have no issue with tuna fish because my mom and dad had it in the house all the time. I just have to have it in small doses. And I loved it on Ritz crackers. Like, that was my thing.
But you got to make it. You got to mix it. It can't be just right out of the can.
No,
it's too
of course.
dry.
Like a little mayonnaise, a little relish in that thing.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah, mayonnaise and relish. Give me some Ritz crackers. That works. But if it's on a sandwich,
you've never had a tuna sub, tuna melt.
No,
nothing.
Way too much tuna for me. Can't do it. Too much mayonnaise. I'm not a mayonnaise guy. That's really what it is.
Yeah, I hear you on the too much mayonnaise. It has to be a nice blend.
Because there's nothing worse than when you go get a burger from somewhere and there's just mayonnaise just all on that joint. Like, it just completely throws off the whole vibe. Mayonnaise can ruin a sandwich. It really can. Too much mayonnaise, too much sour cream.
But I loved it as a kid, man. Mayonnaise,
really? That was your thing?
You probably put it on most things as a kid, I would think.
No, I've never been a mayonnaise guy.
You get a little sloppy.
No, well,
I mean, it just can.
Glad I prepared this segment.
Oh, man.
But you had an idea.
I had an idea.
What was it?
So we'll make a little Wednesday tradition for the foreseeable future, just so we can all get to know each other a little bit. I'm new to the show. This is week 2.
The boys and I are getting to know each other and find out who we are and what we can be.
Is this another movie reference that I don't know?
Why do you know that one?
Well,
because I don't watch, again.
That's a sports movie.
I love that somebody else is here that can let you down with movie quotes. I love this.
All right.
Hang on.
So,
all right, go ahead.
In order to get to know each other a little bit better, Wednesdays for the foreseeable future until we really know each other are going to be 2 truths and a lie. You guys trying to guess
I like this.
my lies. All right, we've all played the game. It's a game as old as time. I'll give you 3 prompts, and you have to pick out which one is the lie.
Can we do this as a team? A tandem jump out of the plane.
Now, you guys can bounce ideas off of each other, all right? The one thing I cannot have is thinking in your head. I need thinking out loud because this is the radio and people are listening to us. You do not have...
We're on YouTube, too.
That's it, and we're on
Maddie
YouTube.
and I are going into the bounce house. Go ahead.
You do not have to give the same answer, but you can bounce ideas off of each other. And I will read each prompt twice. I like these. These are fun. All right, the theme is my time in St. Louis radio.
Okay.
I'll read each prompt twice. Number 1, my nickname on the show that I produced was Poconos because they knew that I'm a Pittsburgh sports fan and they thought Pittsburgh was in the Pocono Mountains and I never corrected them. I will read number 1 again. My nickname on the show that I produced was Poconos because they knew that I'm a Pittsburgh sports fan and they thought Pittsburgh was in the Pocono Mountains and I never corrected them.
Well, the Poconos are in Pennsylvania, correct?
That's correct.
And they thought the city of Pittsburgh, and that's why they called you Pocono. Poconos? I'm going to say this is a lie.
Well, we got to hear the other 2 first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
It's the game we've all played before. Let's act like we've been here before.
I played Spin the Bottle. I don't know about this.
Prompt.
Here we go.
Prompt
That
2.
Twister, huh?
A host.
Naked Twister. Go ahead.
A host at our station had a once-a-week, 1-hour show on location, and he once missed that show due to a tattoo appointment.
Okay.
1 hour remote every week?
A host at our station
a restaurant or something?
Had a once-a-week, 1-hour show on location and missed that show one time due to a tattoo appointment.
Okay.
Prompt number 3. I co-hosted multiple radio shows with someone who I did not know was homeless. Number 3. I co-hosted...
Where did he live?
Multiple radio shows
at
with
the
someone
station?
Who I did not know was homeless. And you are asking a lot of questions that I'm not answering.
You told me to think out loud.
Well, once I was done talking...
I thought we could kind of work through it together.
Discuss.
All right, do you want to do the first one, Poconos?
I think
Remember, 2 of these are a lie.
Two truths and a lie.
It's 2 truths and a lie? I like it better 2 lies and a truth. But
2 truths and a lie.
Okay.
One of the truths to me is that a host missed the show because of a tattoo appointment. Usually when people, they try to fool you with trickery with these. The most ridiculous one is a truth.
It'd be weird, though, that he would have a 1-hour remote every week. Like, why would it be only 1 hour?
It was sponsored at a bar, pregame show,
only
something like
1
that.
hour?
Yeah, I don't know.
Every week of the year? I think that's a lie.
You think that's the lie? And
I also think, I agree with you, I think Pocono might be a lie. I just don't think they would nickname him that.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't even feel like that good of a nickname.
The homeless one is a truth. I'll buy that.
I'm thinking that we're together in that you're lying that the guy had a 1-hour remote and
No, I think that's true. I think that's true. We agree that he hosted a show with somebody that he didn't know was homeless, correct? You believe that?
No, how could that be true? He's homeless. Where would
2 of them have to be true, Rothman.
Yeah. So you got to
2 of them have to be true.
I don't think you've ever played this game.
No, I like it with the 2 lies and a truth, so that's why I'm having a problem with it.
That
All
requires
right,
more
I think, Maddie, the lie is that he did nicknamed him Pocono. I don't think that's true. Do you?
You can give different answers.
My 2 truths are you hosted a show with a guy you didn't know was homeless.
I think is that true?
That's one true. And I think the other truth is the tattoo one?
No.
Okay.
That's unbelievable. So I did get the lie correct. And you helped us with the other two.
There we go.
Well, that means that you guys agreed. Because if you got the lie and he got the other two truths.
Yeah, but I was mixed up because I thought one of the other ones could have been a lie as well.
All right, it's our first crack at this game.
Yeah, we'll get better. Give me a little.
It shouldn't be the first crack at that game.
Hey, real quick,
dude, I was a truth or dare kid. That's what I grew up with.
And a lot of dares.
That's right.
Bet365 is the exclusive sports betting sponsor of the Rothman and Ice podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3, we'll be waiting for you. Subscribe to the pod as well. Coming up on Common Man and T-Bone, it is Wild Card Wednesday.
All right, we're back tomorrow at high noon. Thanks for listening. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If your idea of the perfect radio show is all Buckeyes all the time, then it's your lucky day, Slappy, the Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Spring Tour 25. Friday, May 23rd. Mershon Auditorium. With special guest, the Vindies. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Can I get Mega Millions?
Good choice. Mega Millions is bigger than ever. Jackpots now start at $50 million and grow faster.
Sounds mega.
And now, every game has a built-in multiplier, so all non-jackpot prizes are multiplied between 2 and 10 times.
Bigger prizes, better odds, and just $5? Give me 2.
Mega Millions is bigger and better than ever. Get your tickets today at your local Ohio lottery retailer. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters, while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
When you buy from Pella, you could meet Brad, Bob, maybe Mike, or 54 others that make our local Pella team so awesome.
And if you buy from me, you'll get to meet me.
Just a one-man operation, Wilson?
I've got a bunch of cousins helping me, but based on their work, I'm not sure they've got thumbs.
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business, and that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter. He'll be there quick.
Hey, it's Anthony. Of course, I sit and do the show 3 hours a day. But after that, I'm looking to get things done, enjoy the spring weather. So I want to be on my feet a lot, playing golf, working out, just moving around. I was introduced to the Good Feet store because my feet were aching way too often. And what I found there is a 3-step custom arch support system that has me feeling awesome. My personally fit arch supports have helped realign my feet, reposition my body into a more ideal position, and not only that, strengthen my feet to help support me. It's made all the difference in how I feel every day. The Good Feet store is going to help you where you need relief and find the arch supports that work best for you. And when you wear them as a system, their arch supports are more effective at long-term pain reduction and elimination. So go in, take the free test walk. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Their products are proudly made in the USA. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or at goodfeet.com.
There's a new way to surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and Market District. Shop Giant Eagle's uncompromising quality at a reliable price with everyday savings. Look for signs throughout the store to find bargains on produce, meat, and more. At Giant Eagle, we combine exceptional customer service and quality foods, all at great value to make the most of your shopping trip. Visit Giant Eagle or Market District today to see how easy it is to save.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love.